All right, so we are live, and today is the day they were talking about it since last week. It is the Kino Studio Classics 5th anniversary sale. So that's what's going on right now. And I'll be honest with you, I'm actually heading out of town tomorrow. So um, I didn't think I was going to get to make this tonight. I'm actually not gonna lie, I'm kind of tired. It's one of those days, but I did want to come on here. I did want to talk about the sale, so I brought to my trusted computer. I got all my Kino Studio Classics right here, and we're looking at that. I got my tea, so I can actually talk for a bit, and hopefully there'll be a few guys on here tonight, so we can actually talk a bit about the Kino sale. See if you guys are getting anything. See if I can tempt you into getting anything. Hey, Tennessee Popstar, dude, it's the Kino sale. Have you ordered from the sale yet? Have you looked at it? So it's a pretty big sale. Like what they're saying right now is like it's price range. I think it's as low on Blu-rays as around like $5.99 is the lowest it gets for Blu-rays. Around $4.99 for like DVDs and stuff. But there's higher price ones. There's $10.99, $8.99 Blu-rays, stuff like that. But then again with the Kino stuff, there is some really really great prices. Hey Corey. I've got my complete Kino collection. I'll go through those as well. And we'll actually talk about, like, well, I've got my computer in front of me, so we can actually look at stuff that I don't have in my collection that you might be interested in. So if you're looking at the sale, if you got like your computer or something up alongside you and you don't have to switch over, you can look at it with me and we can actually check it out together. Because this is their 5th anniversary sale. So usually with those, you're going to get some pretty good deals and some pretty nice stuff. So what I'll do is I'll go through my Kino stuff first, and then we'll look at exactly how much things are costing in the sale, and I'll give you an idea of some ones that I recommend. And maybe you guys can recommend some for other people on here, and for me as well. Though honestly, I don't think I can afford the sale right now. This looks like it's an awesome sale though, and we got a lot of stuff to look at. So let's get right into it. I do say don't be too quiet. Feel free to talk and say and ask questions, because that's what's going to make this a good video. So I'm just going to open it up here so I can actually see any comments that are made, and we will go from there. And hopefully we get some people coming in to talk about the Kino sale, because this is pretty awesome. It's pretty big. And I'm going to start it with my Kino DVDs. I'm going to go into my Kino Blu-rays after that, and we're going to look at the pricing on here on the sale. I'll break it down to you for you guys that like into horror and western and sci-fi and that type of thing too, so we can actually look at the different aspects of the sale, and we'll just do an overview of the whole thing. Haven't had time. I understand what that's like. I didn't think I was going to have time to make the video, but I'm doing it. So hopefully people will show up and we'll actually be able to get a good one here. So the first one I'm going to show you is the DVD. There is a Blu-ray copy of this one available as well. Now, this one, I think Arrow put this one out too. So if you're in the UK, this is probably this one that you've got. But I got the DVD of this one. I was at HMV. Hey Juan, how's it going, man? You're the one person, by the way. Thank you so much, because I tweeted this earlier on today that I was going to make this video, and nobody liked it or responded or anything like that, except for you. You responded, and I remember that stuff. By the way, I remember those things. That weird science, nice. So first up, and this is a movie that I do recommend, by the way. The first one I'm going to show you. This is 52 Pickup with Roy Scheider and Anne Margaret. Now, my favorite part of 52 Pickup are the bad guys. The bad guys in this film are fantastic, and a movie like this kind of hinges on how good the bad guys are at, like, being bad and catching your attention. And John Glover really does a fantastic job in this film. Now, this film is known for it had some adult stars as like in regular roles, not as in adult roles, but as in regular roles, like sprinkled throughout the film. There, I'll get it out one of these days. So I think the Arrow release of this actually has a little featurette kind of showing you like where Jamie Gillis is and where the other the other actors that were in the adult industry that are in this film are. But anyway, really great film. A great cast. I mean, we got like Vanity, John Glover, Clarence Williams III is fantastic in this. I knew, Vinny, I knew you would load up on the sale. Do you have this one yet, Vinny? Because if you don't, this one, like hands down, this is a must. John Glover and Clarence Williams III steal the show on this one here. They are fantastic bad guys. This is a wonderful film, and I do definitely recommend it. Some of these here, you're going to see still price tags on them because I got them at HMV, and I haven't opened them because I got the HMV sticker and I don't want to lose the sticker. And I've seen the movies dozens of times. So next up is the Hallcraft Covenant, which is a Michael Caine film. Anthony Andrews. Who else is this one here? This is Frankenheimer, right? Yeah. So this is a John Frankenheimer film. I like Frankenheimer, so anything that he does, anything with Caine, it's a given that I'm going to get it. Victoria Tennant is in this one too, and I'm pretty sure I'd have to look it up. But there's a movie out a few years back. It was a thriller that had Jean Leclerc, and it was called Whispers. It was like it's a Dean Koontz novel. I don't think it's ever come out on like Blu-ray or anything like that. If it has, it totally passed over my head. But it was a movie that I really liked. It was just like just a simple little thriller. But I think Victoria Tennant might have been in that actually. I haven't seen it since VHS days, so I'm a guessing on that one. Next up is really quirky. It has a wonderful cast, and it's so weird that I do think you should have in your collection because you're never going to see a cast like this together in another one of these films. And this is Candy. Candy is Ua Allen, and basically look at the names on the front of that cover. We got Marlon Brando, Richard Burton, Ringo Starr, Walter Matthau, James Coburn. Quite the eclectic group of people on here, and there are like actual, as opposed to like some of this is an earlier one, but as opposed to some of them, this one actually has like features and stuff on it, so that's actually pretty good. So we get an interview here with the screenwriter Buck Henry, who's fantastic, and by the way, is one of the if you ever watch early Saturday Night Live, if you ever get the chance to do that, look for the Buck Henry hosted episodes. Those tend to be some of the best earlier episodes of Saturday Night Live. Yeah. Yes, like throw me up some likes there, guys. I would appreciate that. But yeah, definitely a cool one to check out. This one here has been upgraded by Shout Select, so I don't even know if this one's available by Kino Lorber anymore. Maybe it is. And this, of course, is Wild at Heart. I'm a huge fan of this film. I just like the weirdness of this one and kind of the Wizard of Oz, like the style of this film. Nicolas Cage is fantastic in this. For me, this is one of his better roles, and even better than something like Wicker Man or stuff like that. Now, this is a really good Nicolas Cage film. This is a good David Lynch film as well. Next up is Billy Walters' The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes, and I'm a huge Billy Wilder. I'm a huge Billy Wilder fan. I love this artwork on this, by the way. I think the artwork in this is fantastic. And it does stand out. We got like an interview with Christopher Lee on here as well. Because Christopher Lee, I think he plays Mycroft in this one. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I'm pretty sure he's Mycroft. He's Tennessee Piper, so he's Mycroft, right? Christopher Lee is. Because he's the brother in this one. Of course, Christopher Lee has played Sherlock Holmes in some. But, in this one here, Holmes is played by, actually, I think it's by, what's his name again? Yeah, Stevens. Yeah, Robert Stevens. I forgot his name there for a second. But really cool film. Okay, next up is going to be one that if Vinny does not have this one, because of what I know with Vinny from his Twitter and stuff like that, I'm going to be shocked. And Who? So this is Who by, the sale is going on until August the 4th. So from now to August the 4th. So it's about a week, so not too bad. Give you time to look through and see some stuff that you might want to pick up. And this is Elliot Gould. So Vinny's still here. Vinny, do you have Who? Because this is Elliot Gould and Trevor Howard, which seems like an odd combination, but actually it's a different film. I mean, like it's it's like this robotic kind of this android guy, And there's another title, like Roboman or something. That was the title for this one. And I'll show you the amazing effects on the back. So I'm not even kidding you. Like this is, this was around the time that Elliot Gould was doing things like The Long Goodbye and stuff like that. So you had that type of character for Gould. Gould actually plays I think it's an FBI, CIA, FBI agent, I think, in this one, and definitely a weird, unique one that you should check out. All right, for me, one of the best comedies in its era. Ben Elliot Gould kicked, and dude, you owe it to yourself to get who? Anything with, I'm a huge Elliot Gould fan. I grew up, well, with Elliot Gould, especially if I had Elliot Gould and Donald Sutherland, then, that's like extra bonus, because I'm a huge Donald Sutherland fan as well. Canadian. All right. Next up is the fantastic What's New Pussycat? Little Murders. I still got to get that one. Indicator put that one out, didn't they? Because I know that's one that's on my list of ones to pick up. That was a stage play, I think, originally, Little Murders. Am I getting that wrong? I feel like it was. I feel like I've seen a play of it. Maybe it's a different one. Maybe it's just had the same name. Because I don't think I've seen Little Murders. Who released One Crazy... I don't know. I mean, that's a good movie, too. Man, I remember that film. I don't have it, I don't have One Crazy Summer. It's a stage play? Oh, excellent. Okay. That's what I was going to do. I wanted to act and I wanted to do stage work, so I did try to read a lot of those along the way. So I was wondering if it's the same one. So, yeah, now I really want it. So What's New Pussycat? Again, a fantastic film with some really great actors. We got Peter Sellers, Peter O'Toole, Remy Schneider's in this one, Capuchin, Paula Prentice, Woody Allen, and guest starring Ursula Andress. So you can't go wrong with some Ursula Andress, can you? Next up is a classic courtroom drama, and that is Witness for the Prosecution, of course, with Marlene Dietrich and Charles Laughton and Tyrone Power, right? Again, I love this film. Classic, Billy Wilder. So you can't go wrong, guys, if you see Billy Wilder's name, directing. I can't think of a bad Billy Wilder film. There's probably one, but I can't think of it. But this isn't one of them. This is really good. So if you've never seen this one, see it. Now, the next one I'm going to show you, if you don't have it, put it in your basket and the Kino Lorber one right away. I'm not even joking. But first, this is how I'm gonna sell it to you, because I'm gonna stop to try and sell you this one. All right. So, do you like action movies? Do you like action movies? Do you like the 80s? Is the 80s like a kind of a big selling point for you? Do you like music from the 80s? Like the 80s clothing and fashion? And are you a fan of Karate Kid? Did you like Karate Kid or Cobra Kai? Either one of those kind of grab your attention. Then you have to pick up this film. And hey, Wolf, welcome, dude. I think they do. I mean, I haven't checked it out. I'll check it out here afterwards. I hope they do. Fingers crossed. I mean, there's certain ones that they don't ship to Canada. There's certain releases that we can't get here in Canada. The Joan Collins, Jackie Collins movies, The Bitch and the Stud. Not cursing, that's actually the names of the films. They don't ship here. And I think there's one called The Pit that doesn't ship here as well. Somebody once told me they were going to get me The Pit and send it to me, but it never happened. Oh, but Steel Justice. So here you go. This is one. I'm not joking. If you don't have this movie, you need this movie. So this is Martin Kove from, I guess, famous from Karate Kid, and in this, as you see, he's dressed all Rambo-esque. Man, what's his name? Steele, something. John Steele. Yeah, John Steele. So his character's name actually is John Steele. All right, Tennessee Pop. So that's awesome. This one is cool. This is the most 80s action film you're ever going to see. And it throws it all in there. You want big guns. You want corrupt bad guys. Do you want like you want a cheesy '80s music video like in it? That's there. You want a questionable like sidekick that I don't know. It's supposed to be. I guess she's supposed to be young, like a teenager, but she looks like she's pretty much this almost the same age as the male and female lead. So it doesn't really look like that they're taking her back to the house for milk and cookies. It looks more untoward. Anyway, so Steel Justice is really fun. And if you like a movie that starts out with a rat carrying a grenade on his back, then you have to see this film. I'm not joking. That's a sequence in this film. If that doesn't intrigue you, I don't know what's going to. But Steel Justice, hands down, it is a really cool film. And if you don't have it in your collection, you need it in your collection. One more time before I go any further, Steel Justice with Martin Cove. Also stars Ronnie Cox, Celia Ward, Bernie Casey, Joseph Campanella, and Jan Boyd as Cammy. So that's a great cast. You know you got a great cast there. You can't go wrong with Steel Justice. It is one of my favorite, if not my one. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite Kino Lorber pickups of all time. It's just so cheesy and so fun. I've watched it so many times. And one thing you're going to notice is when I'm doing this is that Kino Lorber is pretty eclectic. They do a lot of different stuff. So we'll hopefully get to see what you'll get to see, like, so you're going to see blaxploitation, horror, action, drama. It's going to run the gamut here. And then we're going to look at some stuff that I don't have. So next up is actually a really cool like a blaxploitation film starring Robert Hooks, and that is Trouble Man. If you haven't checked this one out, it's really cool. It's got a neat premise to it. I won't give it away. Great cover too, by the way. And we get an audio commentary here with film historian Nathaniel Thompson and Hardis Berger. So I actually really did like this one. It really surprised me. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in the best way possible. Trouble Man was way better. I don't. I mean, like, I personally don't have Night Creep myself either. Or because I think they put one out with like a Tom Atkins style, right? Unless nowadays, with a lot of Scream Factory stuff, whether it is more expensive, especially where I'm in Canada, if I can't find it at Sunrise or I can't see it like at Amazon at a decent price, I'm sorry, I got a bad cough. Then I don't usually get it. Ford's Three Bad Men. He put out so much great stuff. Now, when I first heard of Kino, that's what I thought about. I thought about silent films. And for a while, I mean, that's pretty much what I associated them with, were silent films, like early films. I never associated them with like this stuff. But they've really kicked it up a notch with the stuff that they do, and like the range they put out. For instance, Lou Ferrigno in Hercules of the Seven. Hercules. Sinbad of the Seven Seas. He played Hercules here, but this isn't them. Actually, this is really fun. John Steiner from Tenebrae plays the bad guy in this movie here, and he does like a really cool job, like really over the top. Yeah, eBay is always gonna. The only thing you can hope for is like to find it like at a decent price, or maybe try an Amazon seller. Just keep an eye out on there. You haven't seen this one? Well, how bad do you like your movies with? Because do you like your movies where the cast acting is so bad that the entire cast is pretty much dubbed over? Oh yes. Do you want some really cheesy special effects, kind of like Bargain Basement Ray Harryhausen? Oh yes, you know you do. It is fun. It is cheesy fun. Go in knowing this is very low budget. This is Golden Globus level of stuff. So this is actually done by Enzo Castellari. So big shock there, but it's a fun film. I mean, it's a really fun film, really cheesy, but I definitely recommend it if you like these action style films. I'm a big fan of, like, we're big Sinbad fans in this house, and anything that's got Sinbad's name on it, we pretty much pick it up. So you know, that one had to be one of them. Speaking of fun, cheesy actioners, yep. like, yeah, I think you'll have fun with The Wolf. It is a fun little film. Now, this, as far as I know, is the only Andy Sedaris put out by Kino. Am I wrong on that? I can't remember. But this is William Smith, who was actually one of mine and my dad's favorite actors. Actually, he's one of those kind of like tough guy character actors. He actually, I think he was in the last season of Hawaii Five-O as well. Like, he's one of the main cast members. But he was, of course, in things like Grave the Vampire, the John Hayes horror film as well. This is a cool one, and if you haven't seen it, I do recommend you check it out. And this is one of the few ones that actually has like the alternate artwork, the reversible cover, which I find really cool. So 7, definitely one to check out, guys. I do recommend checking out. This of course is not the Fincher film. This is the cool cheesy action film with lots of hot-looking girls and guns and action. It's what Andy Sedaris does. So if you've been looking at all those Andy Sedaris movies that Mill Creek's been putting out recently, like Picasso Trigger and stuff like that, then and you don't have this one, this definitely is one to pick up. And there are like some features on here. We got an audio commentary on here, and we got an interview with Arlene Sedaris, which would be the I think is the daughter, because I think I think it was Andy and Amy Sedaris were the husband and wife team that made these films. Because even though this is an Andy Sedaris production, it's usually him and his wife. But I know he passed away, and I think Arlene's their daughter. I could be wrong on that. I might be wrong, but I'm gonna go out and say that anyway. If I'm wrong, you guys always let me know. What's my favorite Andy Sedaris film? I really don't know. I mean, can I be honest with you, Steve? They kind of blend in sometimes. Like that, and that is not like I'm not saying it that in a bad way. I've got the box set, the one that originally came out, the Girls, Guns, and G-Strings one that that a lot of us picked up back in the day by Mill Creek. Now they're putting that on Blu-ray. If you don't have it, like it was like $5 usually at Walmart, and it's like it's got a lot of features and hidden Easter eggs and that on it. I do like 7. I do like I remember like Picasso. I mean, I can't remember the names of them. Like, to be completely honest with you, I'd have to look, and that would be cheating. So do I know? I'll just like his movies overall, but I cannot tell you what a favorite one is. If you got a favorite one, you can let me know though, because I don't know. I can't lie. Sucks sometimes, but it's true. Next up is one that I thought was pretty cool. This is Roger Corman, and The Secret Invasion. So we picked this one up because my better half is a huge fan of these, like the team movies, like she's, like the, Magnificent Seven, yeah, Kelly's Heroes, all that type of stuff. She loves that, kind of joining together to do a mission type of thing. She also likes heist movies too. So this one here is a great cast. So Stuart Granger, we got Mickey Rooney in this one, Henry Silva as well. My voice is going already, and I just started this video. I do not need that happening tonight, especially when I got so much there. So please keep asking questions. Tea, Elixir of the Gods. All right. Blu-ray that does not open up yet. Why? Because, again, got it at HMV for $1 when they're selling out, and I just haven't had the heart to open it up yet. But I have seen the film. I saw this one, I think it's on VHS. I don't think I saw this one in theater. I don't think so. It's Peter Fonda, Uly's Gold. This is kind of a more dramatic film. Yeah, great film. If you've never seen it, definitely want to check out. But it's not like an action or anything like that, like some of the other ones you saw there. Now, the next one I'm going to show you guys, though, the next one. Gould? Is Gould in this one, too? I can't remember. I remember Jessica Biel. Like early Jessica Biel in Uly's Gold. Is Beware the Blob. Now, what is Beware the Blob? It's a sequel to The Blob? Yes. It's done by Larry Hagman. And it's got pretty much an all-star cast. And most of this cast is improvising their lines as they go along. And man, can you tell. Done differently, oh God, I'm not feeling the greatest tonight, guys. The lines are It's a very strong improvised one. They kind of throw the script out the window. No, this is a sequel to the original Blob. See, after the Blob came out, Larry Hagman got the rights. I think it was one of Larry Hagman's friends who got the rights to make a Blob sequel. And Beware the Blob was originally going to be called Son of the Blob. I think in some places it was called Son of the Blob. And Larry Hagman, he did like a cameo in it as well. I think he had to be convinced to do the film. But like cast-wise, by the way, Robert Walker Jr., we got Godfrey Cambridge, Burgess Meredith, Garrett Graham, Larry Hagman, Sid Haig, Carol Lindley, Dick Van Patten. Dick Van Patten's role in this film is actually really comedic. He plays this scoutmaster. And his role stands out. Like it's an odd role, but it just really does stand out. Guys, if I keep coughing like this, I'm not going to be able to finish this video. I'm going to have y'all turned off. I apologize. I'm going to try my best. We shall see. But it's been you guys are kind of quiet tonight. Nobody likes my videos. Sam Whiskey. There's never any subby. Yes. Is there a difference between Doctor Who Blu-rays and DVDs? You mean the sets that are out right now? Yeah. I mean, like, aside from like the features, obviously there's a lot of difference when it comes to the features and the stuff that's in there. Like the features are worth it alone. But anything that could be like for some of it, it's going to be like an uptick. It's going to be like kind of upgraded as much as it can be to Blu-ray. For other things where it's like when it's like kind of when it's like film footage, when it's like outside sequences, you're going to see a tremendous increase in the in the quality of it. But either way, I mean, like it's for me like they're heads and tails above in quality than anything that you got on DVD. So I would strongly recommend it. Yeah, Sam Whiskey. I don't have to say anything about that one because Wolf just explained it better than I could, and it is a really fun little western. So if you like more of the lighthearted westerns, definitely want to go for. No problem, man. I do recommend them. I mean, I waited on them a bit, Steve, and I regret it because now I'm playing catch up. Because I got to get the 2 Tom Baker ones. I got 1 Tom Baker ones. Got the other one on order. I got to get Peter Davison one. Now I get the John Pertwee one and the Colin Baker one on pre-order. So I'd say grab them now before more comes out next year, and you're playing catch up a bit more, especially if there's one that you're like particularly interested in. So Across 110th Street is a fantastic, utterly fantastic film. If you have never seen this one, it has a wonderful score, just an amazing soundtrack to this film. It has Anthony Quinn, Yvette Koto, Anthony Francioso is in this one. This is an incredible film, directed by Barry Shear, and I would 100%. This is one that I do recommend you check out if you haven't checked it out. And a lot of people don't because they just see this cover and it looks, it's just looks like it's basically a still image. It's not something that jumps off the rack for you. But trust me, once you get this movie and actually watch it, you'll thank me because this is a really, really good film. Oh, God. I'm going to just run out and cough for it in a second. Like the Roger Corman one, you guys know that I like this. We like this style of film. So this is Ambush Bay. Again, Mickey Rooney, Hugh O'Brien. And who else? I don't even know. I can't see it in the back here. James Mitchum. Okay, there we go. But again, not open yet, but a fun actioner. I'm really happy, actually, that you guys mentioned Doctor Who, because for the longest time on this channel, anytime I would mention Doctor Who or wrestling, I mean, people would like leave in droves, and I got so depressed about it because it's something that I was really like, especially Doctor Who, something I was considerably passionate about. Hey, welcome, Logan. Are you buying from the Kino sale? It's tempting stuff. Yeah, the Doctor Who stuff. I mean, like Logan's right. I mean, like, uh, look at how much it would cost us. I don't know how. Like, if you're in the UK, I know it costs you a little bit less. But if you're a collector in North America of Doctor Who, then like Logan, for instance, would know my pain. It could get pretty pricey just getting like one of the DVDs. Like, I got like I remember I picked up the Damons once. Like that's John Pertwee, and one of my favorite John Pertwee, Roger Delgado stories, by the way. And I think I paid like $30. It cost me about $30 for the Damons. It was a 2 disc set. I was really excited. I got Doctor Who for $30, and then HMV came out like around 2 weeks later, and they put out like you could buy two Doctor Who's for like $25 type of thing, and that was the kind of deal that you would get for something like that. So you get like you'd be lucky you get like two stories, but usually they'd be like stories that were one discers, like the Sontaran Experiment or something like that. But they get like a complete season, like a complete series, like it's incredible. Dude, no, you are the right way to go, Wolf. It is incredible, and as I get the seasons and as I watch more of them, I'll do reviews on all the seasons eventually. So I'll do whether I do like set reviews or story reviews. I think I'll probably do set reviews. The One of my favorite things so far, and I didn't think it was going to be. People said it was going to be. They told me it was going to be. Was behind the sofa, and way 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 better than I thought it was going to be. Because they described it, they said people are watching Doctor Who, and it reminded me. I used to read Doctor Who magazine. I don't so much anymore. Basically, because it's not in my area. But on Doctor Who magazine, if you've ever read it, every issue they'd have like this, pretty much the couch crew. I'm not sure what they called them, and they would watch an episode of Doctor Who, and they watch the serial, and they'd talk about it, and there'd basically be them like talking about and breaking down the serial, kind of like sometimes making fun of it, like talking about, giving little tidbits and stuff like that. And the behind the sofa featurettes on each of the discs, that's exactly what it reminds me of. So if anybody's ever read Doctor Who magazine and they know what I'm talking about, because this was the thing that came in every month, was they'd pick a story and there'd be 3 or 4 people there, and they'd like go back and forth, they'd talk about it together, and give their opinions on that story. I know they thought the story held up today. The behind the sofa featurette's kind of like that. So hopefully that helps out. Highway to Hell. I'm still shocked when I show this one and people say they don't have it. Avenging Force, yes, I totally agree. Logan, have you got this one yet? Have you got Highway to Hell? Because this is one of those kind of, I kind of see this one as in the same line of like you see like when you got Buckaroo Banzai or something like that. It's really hard to sell somebody on Highway to Hell because it's really hard to explain it. Because you would think it's not like a horror film. It's like an action, and it's a bit of a chase film. And the cast here, well, let's like break it down here. So we got like Patrick Burgeon, we got Chad Lowe, Christy Swanson, Richard Farnsworth is in this one here, Kevin Peter Hall. We got Jerry Stiller, Ben Stiller, Ann Mara, his wife, Amy Stiller, their daughter is in this one as well. Pamela Gidley from Cherry 2000 is this one. Lita Ford is in the rock star Lita Ford is in this one. Gilbert Gottfried plays Hitler. I'm not joking. Gilbert Gottfried plays Hitler in this one here. It's a really different, really unique one. And you see the guy in the front there on the cover, the guy that's chasing them basically throughout the film. This is C.J. Graham, and he played Jason in Part 6 in Jason Lives, the Tom McLaughlin one. So if you liked him as Jason, you're definitely going to like him as this kind of helicopter character. Oh man, I hate when my voice goes like that. But definitely want to check out. I think you'll get a kick out of it, Logan. I mean, like I really do. It goes pretty fast, and basic premise of the story, without giving too much away, is there's this couple this young couple that are going off to, I think to Vegas to get married, and I think they're kind of underage. That's kind of a reason to run away type thing, and they take a side road and meet up with a gas station attendant played by Richard Farnsworth, who look him up. He's a really big actor. Now he tells them not to go down this road. That this it's just trouble. But they saw some police officers on the main road, and they didn't want to be pulled over by the cops. So they're taking this side road, and they meet up with this. They get chased by this police officer, who's different, and it turns out to be this guy here, and he kidnaps the Christy Swanson. He kidnaps the girl, and basically Chadlow has to go get her, and Chadlow goes to Richard Farnsworth, and he finds that the Richard Farnsworth is here as a staying at this gas station because years ago his girlfriend was kidnapped by this hell cop, and he tried to get her back and he couldn't do it, so he stayed there. He kind of like put himself in isolation, but he was ready if it happened to somebody else, and he gives the guy some this this gun and this car, and he goes in basically highway to hell. Literally, he goes into hell to get his girlfriend back. Great cast, really well done, really cool special effects actually for its time too. So definitely recommend it. It's one that usually slides under people's radars, but I would. It's one that I would recommend. Next up's an odd one, but a good one. So, does anybody here like the movie, Walk Through the Tombstones with with Liam Neeson? Like, definitely check it out, man. I think, Logan, I think it'll be one of those. It's one of those ones that it's really fun, but not only that. And I'm going to say this in a totally like kind of like film geek type of way. It's one of those movies that you take out and it's cool, and that the people that you're going to show it to haven't heard of it, and like, I got a movie for you. I think this is going to be one that you're going to enjoy. So you like, and they're like, wow, I never saw this movie before, and you're like, yeah, you never did you? But yeah, that's it does actually. It has all the Stiller family, mother and father and brother and sister. They're all in it. Ben Stiller actually has a really good job in it. I have. Ken, you want to get it for me? I'm going on vacation actually to see my parents. Well, I'll see my dad, and I'll see my my stepmom and and one of my sisters, and hopefully my other sister is in from Ontario. So if she's in Corner Brook around the time that I'm there, I'm hoping to see her while I'm there, and I'll see my mom actually next week sometime. It's a big old family reunion. Anyway, so Walk Among Tombstones was a movie by Liam Neeson, but it was a sequel to another film that starred Jeff Bridges and came out years upon years earlier, and directed by actually one of the great editors of all time, and that is Hal Ashby, and that is 8 Million Ways to Die. So really neat to know that one, this is the same character that you see with Liam Neeson play in the Walk Among the Tombstones film, except it's Jeff Bridges. It's really neat in the way this is done, and there's again, you get a bit of improvisation between some of the lead actors here, especially between Jeff Bridges and Andy Garcia. You get like some really good improvisational like work between both of them, and it gives it a more real feel. And in some points when they're talking, it gives it almost kind of a weird kind of like little like surreal feel to it. But it seems like it seems more like something that you're watching, or you picked up somebody's video camera and you started watching it, as opposed to like not in a film footage type of way, but it just looks more real than a lot of these action films do. And definitely recommend it if you've never seen it. It's a bit of a treat. It's a different film, and it can be a bit challenging, but in all the good ways. Yeah, it is a sequel. 8 Million Ways to Die is the first. They're based off those books, man. I take it a sequel. They're based off the same character. It's the same character, based off the same book. It's kind of like, like Invasion USA and Avenging Force, which you just mentioned. Same character again. Different actors, same character. Here's one. If you don't have it, you must have it. You got to get it. It is definitely like one of my faves from Kino. And one of my faves anyway. This is a favorite of mine. Maybe it's because of when I saw it. Well, happy birthday, Michael. The Jury. Now, I saw this movie when I was too young to see it in theater, that's for sure. But it is a really cool film on it. And again, cast-wise, look, we got Amar Asante on here, basically playing Mike Hammer. Barbara Carrera's in this one. Alan King, Lauren Landon from Maniac Cop's in this one. Jeffrey Lewis, who's in everything, is in this. Paul Sorvino. This is a fantastic film. It's got a great killer in this one as well. Barbara Carrera is gorgeous. There's this kind of psychopath that he has to take on within this. There's some really good like action sequences. This is not one for the kiddies. It's not a family like action film. This has a ton of nudity in it. This is very 80s. Like, think of a Michael Mann style. That's the kind of what you're getting with this one here. And again, screenplay by Larry Cohen. Definitely one to check out. I think you'll like it, Wolf. I mean, this is one of my favorites. And I mean, even if you're not a huge Mike Hammer fan, you have to understand that it's a very different style of Mike Hammer. And I think Ken's right, actually. Ghosts of Sierra de Cobra, I've heard really good stuff about it in the write-ups as well. So if anybody likes the horror stuff, and especially like really good TV horror stuff, then that is one to grab. Ken's buying me a copy and sending it my way. That's what's going on. But The Jury, if you don't have it, guys, in all seriousness, pick this up. It's a great film, and it's got a great cast. It sticks with me. It's stuck with me for a long time, and I do watch it on a fairly regular basis. It's one of those movies that it's one of my go-tos. So Michael Dudikoff, I got a few of his things here. This one is a period. Michael Dudikoff. They're okay. I mean, like, they're definitely better than the DVDs I got. I got one of them here, but as you know, the dollar movies can be pretty long, and I haven't had the chance to sit back and watch it again. But I actually got sent one by James, and so, and we'll see it here in a second, actually. But over the DVDs, yeah, for sure. I mean, like, people are always going to complain, but I hear pretty good stuff about it. But I don't know because I haven't watched it yet. River of Death, Michael Dudikoff, like Robert Vaughn, Donald Pleasance, you can read them there, Herbert Lom, L.Q. Jones. Great cast. Sit back, it basically kind of like we got like the Nazi one. I think this is based on an Arthur McClain book. Yeah, okay, so it is. So if you've read any of the Arthur McClain novels, or seen any of these other films like Breakheart Pass or anything like that, then you kind of get what the feel of what they're going to go for there. But River of Death, do you recommend it? Thanks, Wolf, because I haven't seen it yet, so I didn't want to give Logan the wrong information, and I can't do that. War Gods of the Deep. It's got Vincent Price and Tab Hunter. That should be all you need to know. Is it like Vincent Price's best movie? No, not even close. Prices are really good, aren't they? I told you. I haven't even gotten to the prices yet. Like, I'm just going through my collection here. I got my computer here. We're going to look at the prices afterwards. Because they have some really well-priced stuff there. There's a British noir set, for instance. If you like noir, and you like British noir type stuff, that runs like usually around $60. It's like $24. But like, there's some really cool pricing in this. This one I think they did with Scorpion. I'm pretty sure they did. Maybe it was just MGM, but I thought it was Scorpion. Who knows? Okay, maybe it's just MGM. I thought it was Scorpion, but I was wrong. And that is At the Earth's Core. Gotta love this cover. These are really fun, cheesy films. Of course, we got the late Peter Cushing here. And Doug McClure. You see him in such films as. Again, this is one of those that has the alternate artwork, the reversible cover. Fantastic film. If you have not seen At the Earth's Core, and you like these kind of cool, cheesy, like, fantasy sci-fi films with the stop motion animation, definitely check it out. Exactly, Carol Monroe. Who can not love Carol Monroe? Next up is one that really surprised me. I actually really like this one. I should have known I was going to because the cast is incredible and it has kind of like all the big tough guys from French like gangster cinema in this one here. And this is has Jean Gabin, Alain Delon, Lino Ventura, who is the tough guy, and it is the Sicilian Clan. Now, what's really cool about this one here is, and I didn't know it when I picked it up, is that it has both cuts of the film, and not on the same disc either. They worked really hard on this one. So there's the U.S. cut and there's the international cut of the film as well. They each get their own disc. There's actually like over an hour long like making of on this one here as well, and there's audio commentary, just some really cool stuff. So if you've never checked this out, I think it's a fun little film. I like this one, and it kind of surprised me. It's one of those that did surprise me. Laughing Policeman, get this out right. Laughing Policeman, Walter Matthau, Bruce Stern. That should be enough. I mean, when you see this cover, you see Walter Matthau is one of those guys that I'm going to be honest with you, he's so underrated. It's insane. He's one of these people, he's kind of like Elliot Gould, that that's always solid, always does really good work, and nobody ever really talks about it. Hey, Adrian. Oh, yeah. The nice soccer ones are on sale too. You guys are looking through them, aren't you, as we're going through here? And I shall get to those, because I do have those, of course. You guys know I'm all about, like, my Kolchak. That's one of the first horror shows I remember watching, was Night Stalker. Like, that one, like, that really stood out and, like, creeped me out. I remember the Jack the Ripper episode. And there's one, I think it's called Chopper, which is about a headless motorcycle biker. I'm sure I didn't make that up. The Kentuckian, nice one. One of the best comedies ever, in my opinion, is this Peter Sellers film called The Party. I love this movie. I unabashedly love this film. This, for me, this could probably give you my sense of humor, because this for me is one of the funniest, and it's one of the top Peter Sellers films, right up there. I mean, right up alongside, not below, but right up alongside his Pink Panther work. The Party is just fantastic, and if you've never seen it, I do recommend it. I know that some of it may seem a little bit culturally not so, but take it for the time period that was done in. Peter Sellers does an amazing job in this film, and he's just really, really funny. He, and again, when you talk about like improvising and stuff like that, he does do a lot of these kind of improvised pratfalls and that in this film. Sellers was a master at this stuff. There's some great featurettes on here as well. This is the Blake Edwards film, so you're getting quality stuff. You got Blake Edwards and Peter Sellers, and they're both at the height of their game with this one. If you've never seen The Party, I definitely recommend you check it out. Great blaxploitation. So you got Dolomite, you picked up some stuff in the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. You want to get a really good blaxploitation, you want like a really fun one. You got Shaft. Maybe you've seen the Shaft movie recently. I haven't seen it. Don't know if it's any good or not. But who knows? But I know this is good. Truck Turner. And this is Ozzie K's, of course, who sang the song The Shaft. But he's really good in this. This is a really fun film. It's unapologetically exactly what it is. Truck Turner, he's a tough guy. He's got a cat, he kicks butt. He's got his girlfriend. It's really cool. It's a great blaxploitation one. It doesn't take itself too seriously, though it's not overly comedic or anything like that either. It's an action film. It's a 70s action film. It stars Isaac Hayes, and it plays to the strengths of Isaac Hayes. He does a great job as Truck Turner. I mean, again, this one, if you collect blaxploitation at all, this has to be one of the ones that is in your collection. The next one really depends. Do you like 3D? Do Do you like Growing Pains? Do you like 3D? And do you like the series Growing? Remember the series Growing Pains? Remember that one? That Kirk Cameron, the guy went crazy later on. Ape. So Ape in 3D, because Kino puts out a bunch of 3D stuff. This is fun. If you've never seen this movie, it's a ton of fun, and especially if you're excited for the Godzilla set coming out, like the Showa era Godzilla set, then you got to get yourself some 3D Ape, man. Especially if you got a 3D TV, this is excellent because this is in real 3D. And this has that, like, I'm pretty sure this is the one that had this infamous scene of the ape kind of like putting up his middle finger, like flipping off somebody. I'm pretty sure this is the one. Look at him there. He's fighting sharks and like snakes and stuff. Does he fight those in the movie? I can't remember actually. I think he fights a shark. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure he fights a shark in that film. So yeah, you got to get that, man. 3D like King Kong looking dudes. That's one. Perfect. Thanks, Tommy. I knew you'd know. Certain Fury, Tatum O'Neal, Irene Cara. Pretty good film. I mean, I enjoyed it. But I'm a huge fan of like, I had a big crush on like, on Irene Cara back in the day. Obviously, I watched Fame. And Fame costs. And here's where you start paying with sweat. But anyway, so I used to watch Fame, watch the movie, of course, which was Irene Cara played Coco in the movie. She did the theme song of Fame as well. And then I watched the TV series that came out later on. But it has nothing to do with this except that she's in it. But it is an action film. Basically, this is kind of the Defiant Ones with kind of like a reversal. And I did really enjoy Certain Fury. So I had fun with it. Peter Fonda's that one as well. If you like Moses Gunn, he's also in it. Okay, remember when I said Alistair McLean before, and I mentioned Breakheart Pass? That's a really incredible film. It stars Charles Bronson, and this is it right here. I love the cover of this one again, and it does really suit the film. It's a tense film, very well done. I mean, and again we got like Jill Arlen, of course. His wife is in this one. Richard Crenna is amazing in this. Ben Johnson, who's in this, is in this train movie, and of course, what other train movie is Ben Johnson in? Terror Train, of course he is. You got Ed Lauder, Charles Durning. This is awesome. If you haven't seen this one, I mean, I'm a huge fan of like Charles Bronson. But that one just stuck with me. And I do like the Alistair McLean novels as well. I've read a lot of them when I was at school. I want to see some cool slasher stuff. Well, I'm not sure everything's going to be cool slash stuff. So you got Silent Night, Deadly Night. You picked up Christmas Evil. But you want more Christmas slasher. You're thinking there's something missing. And you're not quite sure what it is. And you just wonder, I wonder, can I get a slasher movie that has the girl from the beginning of Ghostbusters and is in Up the Creek, that's directed by David Hess, the guy from, Last House on the Left and Hitchhike and all those films. Well, that movie exists. I didn't make that up. It's called To All a Good Night. It is directed by the late David Hess. And he, of course, was an actor, musician, director. And it stars Jennifer Runyon, who, of course, I guess for like people my age, she would have been, her from like stuff like Charles in Charge as well. But she was like just this gorgeous like blonde. And if you've not seen this Killer Santa film, again, it's a really fun one. This one is pretty much, yes, this one is a Scorpion releasing one as well. So this is the one that Kino did alongside Scorpion. Next two, and I'm going to show you, you get it, you double feature it. That's the way that I did it. And there is Mario Bava's Planet of the Vampires. Gorgeously wonderful, colorful film. Really fun. I do find that the outfits that the space people wear remind me of the X-Men movies from the back, the first three X-Men films. So tell me if you kind of get what I feel there. Those like leather, like with the X-Men outfits. So it reminds me of that. again, Mara Bava, so you know you're going to get like a Tim Lucas commentary on here, which is going to be fantastic. You're going to get trailers from hell with Joe Dante, and Joe Dante is always entertaining. Really good film, really fun, and although it doesn't have like a like alternate like on there, so basically what you get here is you get all the different artworks from like from different countries, different posters. And next up, this is a movie that I suggest you get with it and double feature it with, is Queen of Blood. I really, really like this film. It is cool. It is cheesy. There's the Queen of Blood. They make some questionable decisions within this film. I love it though. I mean, I love Queen of Blood, and John Saxon, Basil Rathbone, Judy Meredith, Dennis Hopper. You have very, very young Dennis Hopper in this film as well. Definitely watch Planet of the Vampires and Queen of Blood. Watch them together. I'd say watch Queen of Blood first, then watch Planet of the Vampires afterwards. I think we did in reverse order, but either way, you're good. Either way, it's a good double feature. Whoever hit like on that, thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. On the food bat. It's a fun one. I mean, Logan, like it's not like, it still has kind of a, even though it's a sci-fi film, it still kind of maintains that sort of gothic feel that you find in a lot of Bava stuff. Yeah, I would even call it kind of like a science fiction gothic. So anybody else hopefully can back me up on that one. And it is very like most of his films, Bava's, was an artist. So it's a very colorful one that stands out there. Hey, Brian, welcome, dude. We are talking Kino tonight because there's a big sale, 5th anniversary sale with some insanely great prices on here, which the guys have been talking about, by the way. I'm going through my Kino collection. Then we're going to break it down, look at some of the prices. I'm going to recommend some stuff here as well. And up next is one that I do 110% recommend. If you like horror films and you like blaxploitation, Sugar Hill definitely it's one of the top. We're up there with Blackula, we're up there with Ganja and Hess. For me, this is even a little bit better than Blackula, and I do love Blackula, but Sugar Hill is so well done. This one took me by surprise completely. I did not know this was going to be as good as it was. I think Robert Corey from plays the vampire in this one as well. Oh, dude, that is epic. That is pretty epic. If I wasn't going to visit my dad, maybe I would, but I'm going to visit my dad, and I'm actually bringing him over here, bringing my dad and my stepmom over here for a week. So money's kind of tied up, right? But Sugar Hill, definitely check this one out, guys. I'm like, I know you'll like that one. That's one that I do recommend. Here's the one that I haven't gotten to watch yet, that Logan asked me about, and this is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So I love the cover on this one, by the way. Again, I think from what I've heard, it is a good transfer of the film. And there are a ton of features on this one here. We got like 3 audio commentaries on here, but a lot of documentaries and featurettes. And it is like a 2-disc set. You get the extended cut and the theatrical cut. So you get like both cuts of the film on here as well. And here's the other artwork, I guess the original artwork that you see. So depending whichever one you want to go with. I switch back and forth. I got to sit and watch this one. Like Logan's got me. Like I got to watch this one again soon. I really love the Leone films. Like I'm a huge spaghetti western fan, and obviously Leone's kind of the king of it, right? What happened here? This is an odd film. The one I'm about to show you right now. I don't know whether or not I'm recommending it, but it's an interesting film. Ed McBain, have you ever read any of the Ed McBain novels? Like I think 18th Precinct, because there's a ton of them. There's even like a TV show, which I got here somewhere actually. Scalp Hunters is a cool one, Burt Lancaster. But this was different. I mean, it's got like a great cast. This is an 18th Precinct like movie actually. It always seemed like it was a movie that you were going to see more of, but for one reason or another, they never made any sequels or anything to it. But again, it has kind of there's a lot going on. and it's disjointed, but it goes together. It feels, I think, like it would feel if you were like following like different police officers and cases that they're working on, because there's like some cases that you think are going to be like kind of like the big one, but last time, oh nice. uh Link, I remember Link, man. I've seen that one since VHS days. Yeah, actually, it's played by was this one is with the bald man, right? With the deaf man. Yes, it is. It's played by Yul Brynner, actually. Yul Brynner does a role in this film. Because, yeah, Burt Reynolds, Jack Weston, Tom Skerritt, Yul Brynner is the deaf man, Raquel Welch, kind of a little bit woefully underused. Uh, but it's but the neat thing about it is this is an ensemble piece. So nobody, I don't think anybody really stands out as like the complete star of this film. But that's kind of the neat thing about ensemble pieces. But you got to know that going in, you're not getting like a Burt Reynolds film. You're not getting like you're not getting like a Raquel Welch film. You're getting a film where they are actually kind of on a bit of an even keel. So if that's kind of your thing, definitely worth checking out. All right, we are getting through these guys way quicker than I intended to, and I like that because I still have to look at the sale and see what else we got here. I didn't bring over the animation stuff because I just wanted to go with the regular Kino Studio Classics for tonight because I have so many of them. See, that's why I love McBain, right? Next one is a classic. Again, hey, I have good taste. What can I tell you? Cotton comes Harlem. Definitely worth checking out. If you haven't checked it out, great one. And this was written by, who wrote this one again? Ozzie Davis, right? Yeah, Ozzie Davis and Andrew Pearl. So this is an Ozzie Davis film. He directed this one as well. Really well done. Went into this one fairly blind when I saw it because I thought I'd seen it before and I hadn't. And it's a really well done film. There's a great role here for Red Fox, actually a small role, but a very pivotal and important role as well. There's a bit of humor in this one, of course, but definitely a fun one. If you've never seen Cotton Comes to Harlem, definitely check it out, guys. It's a really cool film. Harry in Your Pocket. I'm a huge James Coburn fan, so I'll buy anything James Coburn's in. It's got Michael Cera's in this one. Trish Van Devere in this one as well. And what's the Water Pigeon, right? Yeah, Water Pigeon there. It's a fun film. It's it's a light film. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's going to blow your socks off. But if you're a James Coburn fan and you're completist, definitely it's a cool one to get. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for definitely for what it is. Next up, this is one of the best covers that Kino ever put out. I got to go back and watch this film again. It's a Jonathan Demme film. I thought it was okay, but it never really stood out. But I did like it. I did like the film, and I feel that I wasn't in the right frame to watch it. Like I enjoyed it, but I feel like if I went back again, I'd enjoy it more. And that is Last Embrace with Roy Schreider. I'm a huge Roy Schreider fan, guys. This is one of their, for me, this is one of the most gorgeous covers. I don't have any of those books. I need them because I love Cotton Comes Harlem. Last Embrace, cool little like kind of Hitchcockian style thriller. And as you guys know, I'm a huge Burt Reynolds fan, so you're going to see some Burt Reynolds here. And here is Malone, which people either usually love or hate. I think I actually like Malone. I thought it was a really good one. It's a slower paced, like Burt Reynolds film, definitely. It's definitely slower paced. Kind of like know that going in. I don't, man. I need it, Adrian. There's a lot that I need. So there's a lot of like kind of like spaces yet to be filled in my collection. Malone, I actually enjoy this. This cover makes it seem like it's way more actiony than it is. I would say Malone is like an action drama, more than like than a total action one. Yeah, Navajo Joe I've seen. I don't have it here though, I don't think, but I that is one that I have seen. Yungari, Monster from the Deep. What's the best Burt Reynolds Kino films? Pick up Gator and White Lightning. If you don't have Gator and White Lightning, like hands down, like those are the first two that you go with, because you're going to get Burt Reynolds at his basically before he got the chance to get like the Burt Reynolds persona, right? Before it got too jokey. Gator and White Lightning, solid films, like great like featurettes on them as well. Definitely, if you're going to pick up any two, they're sequels to each other. Gator's, I think, which one's first, White Lightning or Gator? I'll check here for you because I do have them both here. But we've watched them like a few times, and we were surprised with how well they were done, and how like Burt Reynolds got to be a bit more serious. Basically, what it is, he was a moonshiner, and he comes from a family where that's the thing. They buck the system, they go against the law. At the beginning of the film, like there's nothing given away here, but his brother is murdered, and he is offered the chance to get out of jail, and but he has to work on the side of the law to help capture the moonshiners that are not moonshiners, the guys that killed his brother, and his family, his father specifically, was is dead set against the law, even though his son got killed. He really like kind of like takes offense to Burt Reynolds like working on the side of the law, even if it is to save his to get the guys that killed the brother. And it's a really good film, like a great cast. There's a sequel to it, and the sequel is actually equally entertaining as well, and I'll show them here as well. Hey Mug, welcome. Kino sale. Yungari, Monster from the Deep. Fun, cheesy, the first like Korean like kaiju monster film, like got to be seen to be believed. It's it's definitely one of those. I want to bring up the two here that I mentioned to. Okay, so yeah, the first one with the storyline I just told you about is this one here, White Lightning. Now, White Lightning was also one of the first first movies I ever rented on VHS actually. And cast-wise, man, you got like Burt Reynolds, Ned Beatty's in this one, Bo Hopkins, Matt Clark, Jennifer Billingsley plays the girl, directed by Joseph Sargent. Just incredible stuff. And there's a featurette on there called Burt Reynolds Back to the Bayou, Part 1. And this is the neat, kind of the cool, sneaky thing that they do. For a lot of people, man, if this was a time, Brian, honestly, when if I had money and I wasn't going away, this would be like the epic sale for me right now. There's just so much. I mean, there is so much, and so much great stuff. Anyway, so in White Lightning, his character's name is Gator. So when the second film came out, they just called it Gator. And again, incredible cast. Are you really, Adrian? My youngest, he's studying, like he taught himself Korean. He speaks Korean, and huge fan. He's going to South Korea actually next year, and for a part of his for part of university. Oh, well, it's a lot of them are half off. Some of them are even more than half off. Like you got like some really great prices. I'm going to go through some of the pricing after as well. I'm just going through the collection, give some people some ideas, some stuff to pick up. Like Gator, for instance. Gator and White Lightning, definitely this gives you the second part to the Back to the Bayou featurette. Again, Jack West and Lauren Hutton's in this one. Jerry Reed, of course, would be in a lot of Burt Reynolds movies eventually, is in this one here. This may be the first movie that Burt Reynolds and Jerry Reed did together. I'm not sure. But if you like Burt Reynolds at all, like out of everything that's there, these are the best to pick up. Kathy, there's a Kino sale. Not just any Kino sale, a 5th anniversary Kino sale going on right now. All their StudioClassics stuff is on sale, and it is epic. I'm so glad for subtitles too, Cold Blue, because I do not speak any other language right now, but I'm working on French, and we'll see how it goes after that. Astro Zombies. If you only get one bad, cheesy movie in this whole Kino sale, if you want to know which one to get, here you go, right here. Ted V. Michael's best bad film ever, Astro Zombies. You picked up 4 titles. So, and this is good. We got Wendell Corey, John Carradine, Tura Santana, of course, from from Faster Pussycat Kill, I guess is what she's basically known for. There is a riff tracks with this one. So if you don't have this one, Logan, this got a riff tracks, and really super fun film. Three westerns, one horror. Nice. You got to, man. You got to finish this, Steve, because it gets so cheesy as it goes on. And did you notice that Wendell Corey is drunk, like super drunk, all throughout that film? Poor guy, like I guess he had a drinking problem, or he realized his career gotten to the point that he was acting in Astro Zombies, and he drank a lot. But it was, and unfortunately he did pass later on. But Astro Zombies is like one of those you gotta see. And this is a riff tracks. If you can't get through it regularly, but I can, I thought it was hilarious. Check out the riff tracks. All right, Assassination, of course. Again, Charles Bronson and Jill Ireland. Who acted in with him with this one? Jan Gann Boyd again. So she was in like Steel Justice, and of course Michael and Sarah. So if you're Michael and Sarah was married to Barb Eden. Yeah, I think Barb Eden, and he was the voice of Mr. Freeze in Batman the Animated Series. So that like kind of that gravelly, rough voice that you hear from Mr. Freeze, that kind of haunting voice. That's Michael and Sarah. Michael and Sarah played a lot of like Native American characters and stuff back in the day. So when you see Michael and Sarah, you kind of know who he who he is, right? And you know him from his voice anyway. This is one of my faves. I'm a big comic book fan. You guys know that, especially over the last couple of days. And that is Adventures of Captain Marvel. This is a really good like serial. Captain Marvel is brutal in this. You think you saw those Batman movies and Batman got brutal or vicious, or Superman snapped the head? It's nothing. That's nothing. Captain Marvel in this one is super, super vicious. Super vicious. I mean, he's like throwing people off of cliffs. He's like picking up like Gatling guns, and he's like mowing people down with them and laughing. I am not joking. He does all of that in this film and much, much more. What's cool about this, it is broken up, I think, in around 12 chapters. Every chapter has a commentary on it done by a different person. And that commentary, depending on who the person is, can be talking about something else. Can be talking about the comic book, can be talking about something behind the scenes, can be talking about like serials. It's really, really well done. Not only that, but this is one of the rare Kino ones, where you're going to get yourself a Captain Marvel booklet in here as well. So, haven't seen Shazam yet, but I'm willing to bet, even if Shazam is a really, really good movie, this is better. Look how cool that looks. Come on. Are you telling me you don't want to get the real Shazam, Tom Tyler? Of course, it was the Mummy in the Mummy's hand as well. Because he had an arthritic issue with his hand. That was the reason that his hand is kind of taped up like that. They're doing another remake of Joanne. I always say Joanne because I'm pretentious that way. No, because I've always heard it as Joanne. And I wasn't a huge fan of the Grudge like American ones. I think I liked the first one. Was okay. But the original, like the Korean films, especially the first one, had more of an anthology format to it. That really worked for me. Anyway, guys, this is really good. If this one's on for a cheap price, definitely pick it up. Adam, it is the Kino Lorber 5th anniversary sale. Definitely really cool. Code of Silence, Chuck Norris. Great film. Henry Silva, I think, is in this one as well. I'm pretty sure it's Henry Silva as one of the bad guys in this. I'm going with Henry Silva. I don't see his name in the back. I'm saying because I'm pretty sure it's Henry Silva in this one. And again, a really fun film. The girl that's in this one, kind of like the younger girl that he takes care of. Not a lot of people aren't going to remember, but she played Miss Ellie in Dallas the early years. It was a miniseries that came out back in the day. and I know her from that. You want cheesy again? Do you want women in prison? Do you want space? Uh, do you want? Oh yeah, you're definitely getting up there, man. Do you want Fred Olin Ray? Well, you get them all with Star Slammers. You really on VHS? I don't see. I would love that. Star Slammer, Untamed, Uncaged, Unleashed, space. Again, we get like a commentary with Fred Olin Ray on here as well. He directed the film. Great cast. I mean, we got like we got John Carradine in here. Susie Stokey was in The Power. Maria Gant from Cannibal Hookers. Don Waldsmith from Surf Nazis Must Die. Vivian Schilling from Soul Taker. Vivian Schilling's one of those that I remember. Oh, this is Fred Olin Ray, Adam. If you like Fred Olin Ray stuff, then definitely check this out. Vivian Schilling was on like a cover of Femme Fatale magazine that I used to have. So I always remember her. She always kind of stands out for me. Definitely a really cool one to pick up. Speaking of cool movies that everybody has to pick up, you like Kung Fu, right? You like your karate films. You like Bruce Lee. You like the ghosts of Bruce Lee helping people train for martial arts tournaments. You know you do. You know that's something that's missing in your life. And that is No Retreat, No Surrender. Now, this is the original one. It starred Kurt McKinney. There were sequels that were done after this. Kurt McKinney couldn't come back. I think it was on General Hospital at the time, playing Ned. So in the sequels, then they changed a lot and they used Lauren Avenden from King of Kickboxers to do the sequels. But this is the original one. That is Jean-Claude Van Damme as the Russian, because he has a very small part in this, but a very important part. He has like one fight, and like kind of one at the beginning and one at the end. And what's really cool about this one here is even though it's one disc, there's actually two like cuts of the film on here. A cut that I never seen before. Adrian, have a good evening there. Get some good Kino. There's a 94-minute international cut on here as well. The actual like theatrical cut of this one runs at 85 minutes long. And there's like some interviews, actually really good interviews with Kurt McKinney on here. And I haven't listened to the commentary yet, so I can't tell you on that one, but definitely worth checking out, guys. If you like the martial arts films and films about, in a way, we kind of thought about like, this movie is kind of like, it's kind of like a kid that may be insane, because he's being taught by the ghost of Bruce Lee. And you can go with that. You suspend your disbelief. But there's a sequence in the film where Bruce Lee's ghost like starts bringing in all these like big like sandbags and stuff, and he's like kind of dodging them and fighting and stuff like that. And his friend looks in the window, and he doesn't see ghostly Bruce Lee or any sandbags or anything. He just sees the guy moving around. And did I pick up that? Is that the? I think I got that over there. I'll look, Kathy, afterwards. I'm pretty sure we got that one. Yeah, and so well too, and not only just in the films, but also to play, on the Green Hornet, where he became more popular than the Green Hornet character. Avenging Force. This is one that was talked about at the beginning of this video. This one right at the beginning of this video here. Michael Dudikoff. If you liked Invasion USA, you gotta get Avenging Force. This is the sequel or prequel. I'm not quite sure, but it's the same character. Basically, he's playing the character. I think it's Matt Hunter or something like that. God, what's his name? What's the character name? Yeah, Matt Hunter. Wow, I can't remember. Can't believe I remember that. That Chuck Norris played in Invasion USA. This is brutal, man. Like, they take no prisoners in this one. The villains are super bad, and they're vicious. Like, they pretty much kill everybody. Like, it doesn't matter. You could be a kid. They'll slaughter you. They will. Great film, Avenging Force. Yeah, it is. I mean, like, you get there because it has Steve James in it, like the late Steve James, who acted on a lot of movies with Michael Dudikoff, or at least it seems like he did. And you think he's going to have a kind of a bigger part than he does, and he's got a family, he's got kids, and like without giving away too much, there's a slaughter. Hey, Cinematech, welcome. Kino right now, 5th anniversary sale, and it's got some incredible pricing on here, which I will be looking into in a second. White Zombie. It does. It goes nuts. Didn't you feel at the end of the movie that this was being set up for like sequels? Because Avenging Force seems like we're getting another one. Because there's that like kind of that shadow conspiracy group, and he hasn't gotten them all. There's more. Like today, I would still to this very day, like whether they got another actor or whatnot, would love to see another like a sequel to those films, especially directly from Avenging Force because I like the plot line, and I guess politically too it would work right now. I think that I'm in Canada and they're in the U.S. so I know they do, but for me anyway. Now I know that some titles, however, don't ship to me. Like there's certain titles won't ship to Canada. I'm told by some people that there's like ways around. Like there's things you can do to get things shipped to another place too. But I don't really know much about that. So I have to drink this tea. If I don't, I'm not going to speak. I'm going to need more tea, guys. All right. They got a ton being listed for October this year, Kathy. It's really hard for me this year in October because I usually go with the Vinegar Syndrome or I usually get a couple of Kinos, but there's so much coming out this time that I just really don't know what to go for. October is usually the month that I pick up a lot. White Zombie, again, fantastic Bela Lugosi film. If you haven't seen it, see it. It's FX. I saw this movie in theater. I remember I actually bought this one on VHS back in the day. It had like a hard case VHS. Loved this movie. I liked the sequel. I thought the sequel was good, but it wasn't as good for me. It wasn't as good as the first one. I just really liked the way this was done. I love Brian Brown. I remember this Cocktail came around at the time too. I really like Cocktail as well. Oh, that sucks, Wolf. What area are you in again? Because usually when I go through, what happens is like they'll tell me which ones I can't get. Because there's certain ones I know, like the Pit, I just can't get it. UK. Huh. Let us know because there's people on here from the UK definitely that would be interested in a lot of these films if they're able to get them. If anybody knows a workaround too, uh, yeah, I know. I love coffee. I love the smell of coffee. The only ship US. Thank you, Cinematech, because I was wondering about that. Obviously, I'm not in the UK, so I don't really know. But the neat thing is, even after I go to Morocco, when these sales happen, well, I have kids in Canada, and so basically what I do is I'd order something, get it sent to their address, and eventually go pick it up later on. So that's the way that's my workaround. If you know anybody like in the United States, basically might make it easier on you that way. And I think there's certain services that do that, like the kind of ship things over. But finding a reliable one, again, I don't know because I've never used any of that myself. FX, 100% recommend it. All right, so now we're getting to the slipcovery stuff. Okay. Hey, Sculter. Kino sale, man. Kino sale. Master. Now, the Master was a show. Which one do I? I've got a Seiki, Seiki. I got two of them actually. One of them looks like a PS3. It's shaped like a PS3, and one of them has a regular, like kind of regular Blu-ray shape to it. Basically, all you need to do is there's four numbers that you punch in on your remote, and it makes a screen pop up, like a box pop up, and you choose whichever region you want to use. So now you got to talk to your relatives. You're like, hey, we haven't talked in a while. I wanted to see how you're doing. Yeah, I did actually. That would be a good idea. I'm surprised they didn't do that. But actually, this is pretty much it. Just is the series, and this is like Lee Van Cleef who was like he was going through. He was sick at the time, like he was in a lot of pain and stuff like that. So there's a lot of like a lot of stunt work, a lot of stunt doubles for him in this one here, which is good. I mean, it gave him a good paycheck. Well, he didn't have to do too much like taxing physically. Of course, the bad guy in this is Sho Kozuji, one of the greats, like the great ninja actor of all time for me. Like I love Sho Kozuji, like Enter the Ninja Return. I love his stuff, I really do. And his sons are equally talented as well. And you get like a lot of really cool actors like show up in this one. Like you got like Kristen Bernard from from Wings, uh, George Lazenby, George Maharis, David McCallum, Doug McClure, Bill McKinney, William Smith, Demi Moore, Stuart Whitman, and of course Timothy Van Patten plays is the guy that he's training, kind of the young guy. So you got the young guy there as well. I really did like The Master as one of those shows I grew up with, and it only lasted for like a season, but I kept like I kept like watching it, and I get like there was like a couple VHS that came out, and they had like a couple episodes on them, kind of like when they put out like Spider-Man, the '70s like Nicholas Hammond series. Um, they wouldn't put out like the complete series or season or anything like that. They put out like a couple episodes on VHS. So they did that with this one here. Oh, like there's a ton of people. That's the cool thing about like these older shows. Like some of them weren't as obviously weren't big back then. I don't know. I haven't actually, Logan. I'll check it out there though. Here's one that I think, for some reason or another, I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it. I haven't seen a lot of people pick it up, and I'm not going to lie to you. I do think this one is falling under the radar for a lot of people, and I really like this one. You like spy movies, you like James Bond, you like stuff like that. Um, I'm going to show you a really good one that a lot of people don't have. It's French, but there's subtitles, and I think so. Basically, you get this original, and that is OSS 117. So this is a 5-film collection. Uh, we get like Kieran Matthews in the first two, and Kieran Matthews, of course, played Sinbad. He's a really good like action actor. Um, and in the third one, it's got Frederick Stafford, and in the fourth as well. And John Gavin, actually from Psycho, plays the main lead character in the fifth film. And as many people know, if you're a fan of like James Bond, uh, then you know that John Gavin was one of the guys that was shortlisted many times, on the shortlist to play James Bond if like one of the other actors left and didn't. Say if like Sean Connery didn't want to do it, or early on if Roger Moore would have decided that he didn't want to do it. John Gavin was one of those guys that was always on that short list. And if you ever wondered what it would be like if John Gavin played the spy, if he played Bond, if he played that character, the closest you're ever going to see to that is right here on this set, is the OSS 117 set. I do personally think that Kieran Matthews did the best like job in the role. Maybe it's because I'll watch them on chronological order. Uh, yeah, exactly, she's in the John Gavin one. But I got it like there's the second one, like Panic in Bangkok, has Robert Hussein in it, and he plays the bad guy. And that one, it gets very much like, that's a very James Bondian one. And Robert Hussein is just such a good villain. He's such a good villain in that. And the first one, it's a spy thriller, but by the second one, they've gone into total James Bond territory. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're on set. But definitely, guys, I recommend this one. If this is on at a good price, it's a great set. And just to let you know, it's a 3-disc set. So you got like two on here, and a Double Agent gets its own disc. Um, you can see some of the artwork here as well for the films. Just an incredible set. And we kind of lucked into this one. We were in Ontario at the time, and we actually canceled the set. We had pre-ordered it. We canceled it and said, we're not gonna, we'll wait. We'll get it down the road. But for some reason, it didn't cancel on Kino's end. So it got sent to us, and we took the charge for it. And we got home, and we're kind of bummed that because it was money that we took out of that we didn't account for. But then we started watching it, and it was incredible. And then we were super glad that we didn't cancel the set, that we had set didn't get canceled. Rawhead Rex, again, this is awesome. I mean, whether the movie's awesome, I like it. It's cheesy. It is super cheesy. It is exactly. Clive Barker hates this movie. It's the reason he started directing is because he didn't like what they did with Rawhead Rex. As a guy that reads Clive Barker's stuff, I'm sorry, Clive, but there's a lot of stuff in this movie which is way in line with what you write, man. So you got this big demon creature. It's kind of vicious. He's gonna kill some kids in this one. He's gonna defile a priest and like kind of like not like defile, not in a sexual way, but actually just kind of like urinate on. But he's an evil priest. It's really strange. There's a ton of features. I love this cover here. Me too. Like this is one that I wanted for a long time, Kobla. When this one came, I was really super excited. And again, you get like another artwork right here, and that's not it. Then you also get the original artwork that was on the VHS right here as well. And you also get a booklet here as well, written by Kat Ellinger, and Kat Ellinger is incredible with this type of stuff. And there's artwork basically from the little kind of mini poster, and artwork done by Stephen Bissett. So Highlander originally, Kathy, was available from like Anchor Bay. I'm not sure who has the rights for it now, but Anchor Bay, man, if you get a hold of those sets, they were really good. But yeah, I actually like this one. And there's like a ton of features on here as well. Audio commentaries, interviews with pretty much everybody. There's even an interview with Bissett on here as well. Yeah, pretty much I think it's the same transfer. Like the Arrow and the Kino is the same transfer. The Arrow edition has one extra featurette on it though. August the 4th, Logan. If I'm correct, I think August the 4th is when the sale is ending. And you mentioned these earlier, so let's show them now for people that didn't pick these up yet. The Night Stalker, love this movie. One of the TV movies that definitely changed my life. I love Darren McGavin. X-Files would not exist if this wasn't there first. It is incredible, and I equally like The Night Strangler. So both of these are on sale right now. And I think Logan said they're 13, somewhere around there. I don't think so. I think much like the Hercules and Xena sets of that same ilk that came out from Anchor Bay, they're allowing it to print. I know, it's killer, isn't it? And this is The Night Strangler, which is really, really good as well. And it has some really good footage of like the underground area. Just fantastic. Each of these has a booklet. And of course, if you're going to pick up these, like, because you're getting stuff by Dan Curtis, there's no way that you can't pick up, especially with part 2 coming out in October. You're going to want to get yourself Trilogy of Terror with Karen Black. Love this movie. I really do. Love this film. Some people, my better half included, finds it a little slow nowadays. I like this film, and the Zuni doll still scares the crap out of me. I'm more wimpy that way. So let's just look here. I want to bring it up here. I was asked if I had, Kathy asked me if I had that one, Murder Takes a Vacation. Let me just check. I think I do. I don't actually, but I do. I did get the McGree ones, which McGree, and I love these films. I like the TV series, the TV movies that were done by Rowan Atkinson as well. But if you want to get the original, the John Gabon ones, there is McGree Sets a Trap. I love the artwork on these two, by the way. And there's also McGree and the San Fiacre case. This one wasn't adapted in the new Rowan Atkinson series, but this one, I think this was the first one adapted in the new Rowan Atkinson series. All right, so let us go into the horror first, because I know a lot of you guys like horror. And we'll look at some of the prices here that we're looking at. So we got things like Astro Zombies, for instance, is $9.99 on Blu-ray. Like regular runs around $29. But I mean, we got like stuff like, if you want like the real kind of cool cheesy stuff, then really cool. I mean, I definitely recommend them. Like what I suggest, Kathy, is something that you're not quite sure of or you don't know, is like check out a trailer on YouTube to see if it's something that interests you. If you like kind of the mystery ones, McGree is probably like it's a very famous like detective, especially in France. Kind of like the inspector type, and I really like it. I mean, like I saw the Rowan Atkinson stuff, and my better half had seen like McGree was huge over like I'd read some of the McGree books, but my better half, like, she knew McGree really well because it was huge over where she's from, and that was like their Sherlock Holmes. It was like just as big as Sherlock Holmes was over there, and stood on these took him in that same stature. It was like a huge character that they. Then there's tons of movies and TV shows about him. He's just really coming over to North America, like, and more recently, unfortunately. The Black Sheep with Tor Johnson Black Sleep is $8.99 here. Burnt Offerings is $10.99. Stuff like The Crimson Cult with Boris Karloff and Christopher Lee runs you $9.99. A lot of really cool stuff. Dead of Night is here for that's more expensive one, $17.97. That's a brand new one though. Blackadder. I love Blackadder, man. Actually, Jimbo, the first series of Blackadder I wasn't a big fan of. I was like iffy on it. I thought it kind of, even though it had the bigger actors, it was when I got to series 2, that's when I really got into it. And there's some really cool stuff on here, like Donovan's Brains for $12.49. Ken mentioned The Ghosts of the Sahara de Cobre, which I hear a lot of great stuff about, is like $11.99. You got stuff here like $12.99 for Highway to Hell, which is the one I showed originally, and I said, Highway to Hell is definitely one of those that you gotta have. I can't spell right anyway. I'm a horrible speller. That's why I went to journalism. We had this pre-computers. Journalists would carry around a blue book. It was this like long blue book that would give us like proper like spellings of different things and kind of phonetically do things out. So if you're somebody that's done journalism, yes, we had pretty much this cheat book that we used to use because journalists are notoriously bad spellers. That's why we got editors to do that stuff. The Good Son is $9.99 on Blu-ray. The complete series Haunted, which is what Matthew Fox did after Lost, here is $14.99. Heart of Midnight with Jennifer Jason Leigh is $12.49 on here. The House that Would Not Die is one I would really like to have. That was $9.99. If you've gotten like a lot of the other ones by what's his name? Anyway, because it's not going to come right now. House of Long Shadows, $11.99. Impulse is here. I actually like Impulse, which is $11.99. The Incredible Two-Headed Transplant is a super cheesy one. Now that one does have a riff tracks with it as well. So if you're a riff tracks fan, you're getting like double the the treat with that one. And that one, by the way, is $5.99 right now. $5.99. Damn it! Somebody buy me the Incredible Two-Headed Transplant tonight. $5.99 for the Incredible Two-Headed Transplant. That is a great price. That is insanely good for that one. That has features. That has a riff tracks on it, guys. You get stuff like Invisible Invaders for $8.99 on Blu-ray. Invisible Ghosts is $8.99. The 1970s version of Our Dr. Moreau is $13.49, which actually is a really good price for that. The kind of the snake charmer meets Carrie movie Jennifer is like $8.99. Link with Elizabeth Shue is like $13.49. Lisa is $13.49. We got The Lodger here for $13.49. If you like Vincent Price, and I know Kathy likes Vincent Price, Then Madhouse, which I think is a very underrated Vincent Price film, is that's also got Peter Cushing in it, by the way, is on here for like 13.49. You're getting like The Man Who Could Cheat Death with Anton Diffring and Hazel Court, fantastic film. That's running for 8.99. The 3D movie The Mask, which was a Canadian 3D film, where basically you know that it was going into 3D because it would tell you to now put on the mask, is on here for 12.49. There is The Maze, which is another 3D film on here for 11.99. If Rob Galuza doesn't have these films, he should get them. So if, if Brian Sauer's watching this or is seeing this later on, tell Rob 3D films for really cheap. Yes, I wish I could, man. Mephisto Waltz is 13.49 on here. Monster Dog, which is kind of a cool, cheesy one with Alice Cooper. And I think Meatloaf's in that one too, and that one is 13.49. Class Reunion is one I really, really want. That was 10.99. Oh, dude, I had the same thing, Mug. I had to cut one of them. I had to cut it comics. Needful Things is 11.99. Night Kill is 9.99. Crikey. Night Angel. Night Angel, by the way, if you've ever seen Halloween 5, the one with Tina. Night Angels by the director of Halloween 5. Night Tide, Dennis Hopper's 13.49 here. Nightcomers, Marlon Brando, wow, is 9.99. Okay, this is kind of cool. So I can't get The Pit. It's 12.49 here. That's a good price. The Outer Limits series are here, both seasons. So the Outer Limits season 1 usually costs about $100, like usually or so. So it's $49.99 for the first season and $34.99 for season 2. Oblong Box is here, which is a really good one for $10.99. It's one of the Edgar Allan Poe movies that doesn't get talked about as much as some of the other ones. If you like Amicus, then there's Psychopath. That's going to be $8.49. Quatermass Experiment is $8.99. Again, incredibly well done. If you want to save some money, some of these are have like DVDs as well, for instance. So you could pick up. Sometimes it'll be something be $12.99. There'll be $8.99 for the DVD. Like Rawhead Rex, for instance, $12.99 for the Blu-ray, $8.99 for the DVD. Hey, Brian, welcome. Yeah, there's the thing. You got OSS, you bought the DVDs, but you still got the 5-pack, right? So as long as you got them, dude, and those are good. Those are good films. Did you like them? So I got to say, I got to point this one out. If you like Pieces, if you like the movie, did you like the movie Pieces, guys? Do you remember another movie called Slugs? Right? You remember the movie Slugs? Do you know what both of those movies had in common? They're done by the same director. And his name is Juan Picar Simon. So those are the movies, like people know Pieces, right? People know Slugs, right? Same director. But there's another one. There is a Kino film here that is by that director. I got to open it up because it's got a great cast in it too. So anyway, it's called The Rift. So have you seen The Rift? So around the time when they're doing all these like movies like these, The Abyss and Deep Star 6 and stuff like that, Jean Picard Simone put out one called The Rift. And it's not like just with nobody. No, you got like Ray Wise acting in, and hey, they're exactly the man who did Pod People. Good call, Ron. A Supersonic Man. But The Rift is here from them, and I mean from him, and it is super cool. I'm a huge fan of this film. I don't own this one. I actually do have to get this one. I can't get it now. Jack Scalea is in it. You like the remake of Texas Chainsaw? The best part of that, Arlie Ermey is in The Rift as well. Deborah Adair is in it. Just such a great cast, and actually some really kind of decent monster effects in this one as well. How can you hate The Rift, man? We can agree to disagree. I think you should give it. One of these days, Logan, we'll be in the same area. We'll sit down. We will have a couple of beers. We'll watch one of these really cheesy movies together. I will win you over. I will win you over. I'm infectious like that with these things. again, and this one has like on-camera interviews with Ray Wise, Jack Scalia, and Arlie Ermy. So exactly all the people that you want talking about the film on here are on here. Um, it's super super cheesy. Really felt. See, maybe I'm the only person. I just have a super a love for that film. It's just like it's not perfect, but it's really really cheesy. And as you guys know, I'm weird, and I do like those super cheesy Z grade films. They have a special place in my heart. The Reincarnation in the opposite direction, which actually a decent, a good movie, Reincarnation Peter Proud, is is there for 13.49. Scissors on Blu-ray right now is 6.99. Holy crap! I would totally have that if I had the Moolah right now. If I had the bones right now, I guess I would get a lot of the stuff. Um, Sugar Hill's there for 12.49. Spiral Staircase, great movie by the way, is 13.49. Mystery on Monster Island. See, I will watch The Rift before Mystery on Monster Island, but they're both fun films. Of course, Mystery on Monster Island is done more towards a kid oriented type of film, but it's a fun one. Undying Monster is on here, 9.99. Twilight Good Night, the one I showed you guys, directed by David Hess, is 13.49. We got X the Man with X-Ray Eyes for 13.49. Whatever Happened to Aunt Alice is 9.99. Same with Whoever's Still Andy Rue. White Zombie is 13.49. Actually, they got a really good edition of that one. That's my favorite edition of White Zombie that's been put out, is the Kino one. Running over to Westerns because I know a lot of you guys like a lot of their Western stuff. The Night Stalker ones, man, are incredible. I gain more respect for Iran for your level of slugs. I do. And there's some great like prices and some great Western stuff here. If you like Sabata stuff, like the Adios Sabata with Yul Brenner here is 9.99. Three Bad Men is like 8.99. God, there's so much. Bend of the River with James Stewart is here for 13.49. The Big Country is just going to run you 10.99. If you like the really cheesy stuff like me, which again not a lot of people do, but the Billy the Kid versus Dracula is 14.97. But that's one of the newer ones that's out here, by the way. And of course, it's 8.97. We just want to buy the DVD. The sale's going on until August the 4th, actually. Three Bad Men. Actually, I haven't come to that one yet, but I'm pretty sure it's in here. Billy Two Hats with Gregory Peck is 8.99. Captain Apache is 13.49. We got the Coda here for 7.99. A lot of like Custard of the West. Custard of the West is 13.49. Randolph Scott, someone I really like, Caribou Trail, is 12.99. Duel at Diablo is 11.99. That's James Garner. Death Rides a Horse, great one by the way, is 10.99. Duel in the Sun again with Gregory Peck is running 13.49. 12.99 for the Fistful of Dollars. Definitely recommend that one. Face to Face, which is actually a good Thomas Milan one. It is. It's a fun film. Is 12.99. You get Joel McRae here, Fort Mask. I'm a huge Joel McRae fan. So Logan's right. All the Sergio Leone films. I liked all the Sabata films, but that's something I do like all the Sabata. Just give me a second, guys. I gotta get a Pepsi because it's a little bit dry down here, and as you guys know, if you've been watching this video for a while, my throat's been kind of iffy. But I'll be right back. That is actually White Zombie. If that's where Rob Zombie got the name for his band at. Hey, Somebody's answering on the. All right, so where are we? Joel McCrae. Anything Joel McCrae, I'm a big fan of. I like the actor. Gunfight at Dodge City. They got the on DVD only for $8.99. They got the Gunsmoke, the James Arnaz Gunsmoke TV movies that came out. The Hunting Party is one that I like. That one's I think it's Oliver Reed. Is here for $8.99. Not a classic western, but like the film. Kentuckian, Burt Lancaster is $8.99. Lady Takes a Chance. Last Command, Sterling Hayden. Again, is $8.99. There's some really good prices on these westerns. Man Without a Star, those more expensive ones, $17.97. A Minute to Pray, A Second to Die. Ride the High Country is a classic, Wolf. It is for me, that is one of the tops. That's one of the, Ride the High Country is an amazing western. Martin's going to say something to you too. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I'm going to take it as a compliment. We got like Navajo Joe is here with Burt Reynolds. I don't have that one yet too, by the way, promoting all these films. Okay. Okay, yeah, thank you. Jane Russell, The Outlaw, you know. But we got like some really good stuff. Reason to Live, Reason to Die. James Coburn here for $7.99. Return to Sabata with Lee Van Cleef. That's a good Sabata film, actually, for $9.99. Of course, the original Sabata is $9.99. Rawhide, Tyrone Power, Susan Hayward, actually a decent one. Shalako, actually, with Sean Connery and Bridget Bardot. I actually really like that one. $8.99. That one didn't get like too big of a like. I learn a lot from you guys. That's where so a lot of this knowledge comes from. Like learn it from being on here. I learned stuff from you guys as well. That and I have way too much time on my hands. That too. I told my better half that I said all this, you know, I'm a sponge for like weird knowledge, like media stuff, like movies and music and stuff like that. I said I think it replaced math in my head. The Unholy Four is here for what? For $9.99. That's just a really good price. There's like a ton. I mean, like White Buffalo's here, Valdez is Coming, Viva Maria, TV movies, Young Pioneers, Yellow Sky, Young Billy Young. Do I own a lot of Italian? Not enough, Carlos, to be totally honest with you. My latest Italian Western thing, of course, was the Sartana set. Oh, man. I do not want to be tempted like that. Movies. I think I'd go for movies. I mean, obviously, you know, I like a lot of TV stuff, and I like the... I mean, wait a second. That'd be hard because Doctor Who is TV. I'd have to think on that because I do love both. And just going into the action stuff, $11.99 for The Adventures of Captain Marvel. Other particular publishers specializing in TV movies. Kino has a lot of TV movies. They do a lot of TV films. There's not enough actually TV. There's not enough, like, in my opinion, like TV stuff being highlighted yet. Like they did a couple things for a while on like Shout Factory, Scream Factory stuff. It's still hard to find a lot of the TV stuff. Kino has probably like the largest amount of TV type movies, especially like TV horror movies and like TV westerns and stuff like that. That I can think about as a company. If somebody else can think of a company that does more, you know, definitely shout it out. Yeah, like there's the Outer Limits sets that they did. They're great. The Outer Limits sets I got over there, upstairs actually, because I'm still watching them. No, they're right there. Are utterly fantastic. And if you don't have the Outer Limits sets and you got the bones to pick them up now, man, definitely check them out. Because the first set, a lot of great episodes. Second set is all the features on it. They get you that way. They got second set with all the features. I'm one of the The guys, the TV. Honestly, TV doesn't get a lot of like TV. Talk about TV, Blu-rays and stuff. That unfortunately doesn't get a lot of views. Uh, I I I don't do this with views, so I talk about it anyway. But yeah, that's me. Cherry 2000 is here for 10.99. Blown Away, 13.49. Convoy, which was used to be so hard to get, by the way, guys, was 12.49. You got like Defiance here for 13.49. Delta Force 2 is 12.99. You can buy Cotton, Comes to Harlem for 11.99 on here. Chuck Norris, Eye for an Eye, which you guys know I just recently bought the VHS of that one actually, is on here for 13.49. Or you just want to buy the DVD, it's 8.99. Enter the Ninja is here for 13.49. FX is 10.99. FX2 is like 12.49. FX is better than FX2. Yep, that is the one with Manny Griffith. I like that one. It's just kind of a cheesy, fun, like sci-fi film, but I enjoyed it. Stanley Kubrick's Fear and Desire is 14.99 on here. Yul Brynner, what the heck is that one called? The File of Golden Goose. Rolling Vengeance. I love the Rolling Vengeance. There's another one that I had that one on a list to pick up. Gator is here for 10.99, which is a really great price for that one. It's a really fun film. Hero on the Terrace, 12.99. In a way, it's kind of a spiritual sequel, really. Not a sequel, but a kind of a spiritual sequel to the to Silent Rage, in that he's going after serial killer in both those. Flesh and Blood is 12.99. Gary Cooper, Man of the West is like 10.99 here. You can get the Mark of Zorro for 9.99. Mulholland Falls is 7.99 here. The OSS 117 collection is 29.99 on Blu-ray for 5 films, so that's actually really, really good. Remo Williams is here on DVD for 7.99. The Organization, which is a sequel to In the Heat of the Night. I think it's the third one, right? Because there's In the Heat of the Night, They Call Me Mr. Tibbs, and The Organization. Maybe I got the order mixed up, but I think that's the order they go in. It's here for $7.99. So it's Sidney Poitier playing Virgil Tibbs again. Prime Cut is here for $8.99. It's a Lee Marvin film, Gene Hackman. Mulholland Falls. I missed that. Sorry. It's with Ed. Here's Paul Newman. Mulholland Falls. That's the one with is the Lynchian one. I know Nick Nolte's in it. Yeah, Nick Nolte, Manny Griffith. Why did I say Lynch? That's Lee Tamahori. Wow, it's been a long night for me. Chris Penn, Treat Williams, Jennifer Connelly. Oh, Jennifer Connelly. There's reason to have right there. Brian. Andrew McCarthy, John Malkovich. Really, really good cast. Where the hell did I get Lynch out of that? Okay, guys, one of those nights. Mulholland Drive. Thank you. There. See, you can put together better than I can. Revenge of the Ninjas, 13.49. Spellbinder, if you like kind of the thriller ones, that's 13.49. Running Scared, I remember seeing that in theater actually, is 12.49. That has Gregory Hines in it as well. River's Edge is fantastic. Miracle Miles here too. Steel Justice, by the way, guys, you can buy the Blu-ray Steel Justice for $10.99. And it's Martin Cove. It is good. It's cheesy 80s stuff. Burt Lancaster's The Train. If you don't have The Train, if you didn't get the Arrow edition of The Train, and you live in North America, The Train is a movie you should have in your collection. That is only $8.99 here. We got The Vikings here, which is one of my dad's favorite films of all time. Got Kirk Douglas and Tony Curtis in it. Ernest Borgnine. It's $10.99. When Eight Bells Toll is here for $9.99. Wild at Heart DVD is there for $8.49. If you like cheesy stuff like Zone Troopers, definitely it's $13.49. Beware the Blob, you can get for $12.99. There's a lot of really cool different stuff here, like The Day After if you want to get really depressed. Is it really that bad? Oh, that's a shame. I was hoping it would be good. the day after, you can get it, put it next to Threads and get like a really depressing double feature. I saw White Nights in theater actually. Uh, yeah, actually that was the what's his name? Ballet star. So because it's Gregory Hines, who's his famous tap dancer, and is it Brishnikov? Is it Mikhail Brishnikov? That's the Russian. I did watch his Dark Materials trailer. I did, and it looks really cool. My better half, she loves the fantasy stuff. So I've never read the books. Apparently, it's based on a book series, but it looks really, really good. So yeah, that's gonna keep us like tuned in HBO for that one for sure. So see, I remember this time. GOG is really kind of weirdly fun, uh, and it's 3D. It's 13.49. If you like Vincent Price, for instance, 100 Years. I can't remember that one actually. You've never seen it? I liked it. I mean, I really liked it. There's a sequence in it, and I think it might be near the end of the film, or maybe the end of the film, where they just get out there and they dance together. And for some reason, that it really got me. It's one of those films. Basically, you have to remember when White Nights came out, we're still looking at like kind of the Cold War era that's going on. I grew up like you did too, I guess. I grew up like in the Cold War, like that because I went over from the '60s into the '80s to Perestroika. That was a huge thing. But yeah, I like to see like the America and Russia and they're kind of working together to fight bad guys. It's definitely worth checking out. It's got a great soundtrack to it. I can't remember the song. There's a song that was really popular that came out of that movie. Yeah, you're like me, right? But yeah, it's a really fun film. I definitely check it out. I gotta get that again. I really want to get that now. We got The Land Unknown here for $12.99. Making Contact. I don't remember that one. I think I had a VHS that one, but I don't remember the movie hardly at all. $7.99 here for Blu-ray. The Man in the White Suit was a really good Alec Guinness film. That's just came out actually, so it's $17.97. Some of you remember the Cuban Crisis, exactly. Not me, but I I've heard lots about it. The Neptune Factor is one that I had on DVD once. I think I gave it to my dad. I had the original, like the slit, box edition of it. It's $10.99 for the Blu-ray. Monster Challenge the World is here. Meteor is here. Martian Chronicles is like $13.99. A white suit. I like the white suit. Like I have to just for DIY down the road. See, here's the thing. I've seen all the other Critters films, even though that little like bite-sized TV series that came on Shudder. So I'm going to have to watch it. With all the pain that I've gone through, I can do it. American equivalent of something like Extra or The Visitor. Oh yeah, I know I've seen it like years ago, but now I really want to see it again. Okay, there's some super cool cheese. Twice Told Tales is fun. If you like Jerry Lewis, Visit to a Small Planet, it's actually pretty cool. And that's like running $7.99 for the Blu-ray on that one. Tobor the Great, actually. Man, I haven't heard that one in ages. $13.49. Yangari is there for $13.49. Guys, you want to pick that one up? If you want kind of a really weird one, last time, Kathy, I think we got like 21 titles from the Kino sale. And I don't think we're going to get any from this one this year. But I'm hoping there's going to be another. I hope this isn't another Kino sale. I'm going to cry if it is. But if you want a kind of really strange one, there's Oliver Reed and Geraldine Chaplin in ZBG, and that is like $8.99. Don't ask me to explain ZBG to you though, because I just can't. I could not do it. There's Executioner Songs here. That's the more expensive one, $15.49. Fist, Stallone, of course, $12.49. Face to Face. I'm sure I mentioned that one already. There's a Phantomos 3-film collection here for $19.99. My better half doesn't know that because she was a really big Phantomos fan. Wow. I mean, like remember when I showed you guys the film noir stuff? I showed you this film noir, like the Dark Side of Cinema box set. If you watch my film noir video, Then you saw me like show it at a like storm warning and a bunch of, at 5 anyway. So that's there for like $29. For like $30, you can get yourself 5 film noir Blu-rays. I might be depressed. I'm gonna have to do it, dude. I'm gonna now that you said that, I gotta do it even more. But I'll have people around. I'll get some beer. I'll have some beer with it. Execution Song was a TV movie, actually. So you got that one right. And I think it was NBC. I'd have to look it up. I'm pretty sure. Until somebody tells me I'm wrong, I don't know it was. The old black box. That's out of print now, right? Like that, they sold that one out quick. Somebody mentioned Bava. Oh yeah, but there is way too much like really good stuff. Joe Down Baker's Framed. I can't remember that one. We got some Elvis here, Frankie and Johnny. Not one of the better Elvis films, Frankie and Johnny, but it's a fun one. Foxes. Foxes is hey Indy, dude, another sale, man, another sale. Jodie Foster, right? Fox is Jodie Foster, I think. Front Page with Jack Lemmon, Water Method that is here. A Freeway is here. That's a different kind of weird little fun film. Great cast in that movie, and that one's here for like $6.99. The one time I can't pick up stuff, the Freeway comes there for $6.99. Son of a I'm gonna drink now. From Noon Till 3, Charles Bronson film. It's here for $8.99. A Game of Death. Again, a fun one is $11.99. So much. I mean, like, there's so much stuff here, guys. Goodbye, Emmanuel is here for $12.49. So I'm guessing all 3 of the Emmanuel trilogy is going to be like $12.49. So there's Emmanuel, Emmanuel 2, and Goodbye, Emmanuel, otherwise known as Emmanuel 3. I think there's some great features on those too. And there's like some newer stuff. Green, like I guess not newer, but Green Card. Grandview USA is like one of the Jamie Curtis movies I remember. I think it's C. Thomas Howell, that one. Gross Anatomy, which, yeah. So you can get yourself the other version front page here now too. So that, which is actually kind of cool. Did I say fist? I did say fist. And just to let you know, fist I think was around here somewhere. $12.49 on Blu-ray, $8.99 for the DVD. So either way, you're getting it for a good deal, man. I don't have that edition front page. I like the Jack Lemmon Water Method one. So that would be interesting to check out. Gold, which is a Roger Moore film. For a while, Gold was one you could get like basically. They do have a lot. They must have done a deal with them like at some point. Because you do see a lot of that stuff here, like Gross Anatomies here, Gun and Better Loose Handbag. Hannibal, actually, you can pick up Hannibal on Blu-ray for $9.99. Actually, really good film noir, Hangover Square. I would consider that film noir. Is $9.99. The kind of cult classic Haunted Honeymoon is here for $9.99 as well. I didn't bring them over, but I got them. They're Kino classics like the Hell's House and Of Human Bondage are both here for $8.99. I think that's his thing, though. Roger Moore kind of leans into the kind of like the more comedic, kind of charming, flippant cheesiness, and it works well for him, though. The Hitchhiker, that's Ida Lupina's directorial one, and that one is here for $5.99. It's cheaper to buy The Hitchhiker on Blu-ray than it is on DVD. That's pretty incredible. That is pretty incredible. Hotel New Hampshire, which is a favorite of mine, is $8.99. House of $1,000, which is another Vincent Price one, is here for $7.99. Wow. I mean, some of these prices are utterly, like, stunningly fantastic. This is probably the best price set that I've ever seen them, the sale that I've ever seen them do. And and I think you guys could actually back me up on that one. This is probably the best like prices. Yeah, this is insane. You know, even like say like a newer one like Ida Lupina set is like it's $47. Still it's $80 one normally. Did I miss a comment? Hear that Shogun miniseries, a Marco Polo miniseries from the early '80s. Both of them. I love Shogun. Uh, oh, the Hitchhiker, no Hitchhiker, the Ida Lupina film. Uh, but yeah, I saw Shogun. I remember. I remember Brian when Shogun came on TV. It was a pretty brutal one at the time because I used to. My mom's in Double A Book Club, and I got a bunch of like James Clavell novels, and Shogun actually was two books when was two hardcover novels when I picked it up, and I really was really into that one. I haven't seen that one here. Bela Lugosi meets the Brooklyn Gorilla. If it's here, I haven't seen it. To be totally honest with you, so not yet. But considering all the Bela Lugosi stuff they put out there, I wouldn't rule it out. Innocent Man, which is actually is a pretty decent Tom Selleck film, is $7.99. Inspector Clouseau, which is the non-Peter Sellers one, which has Alan Arkin as Inspector Clouseau. Not my favorite, but it is like it's nine. It's like 10.99. I'm a bad man. I can barely say it tonight, man. Uh, you got some W.C. Fields stuff here. It's the old Army game is here for $11.99. Yul Brynner's Invitation to a Gunfighter is like $7.99. Irma la Douche, which is a fantastic film, by the way. Taipan, that's the other one I was thinking of. Taipan went to theater, right? Because I remember I had that one, so I had the book. I had the book for all those. For Shogun. I don't remember Marco Polo. I don't remember Marco Polo. But I remember Shogun because it was brutal. I think Shogun had Richard Chamberlain, if I remember correctly. And Taipan was mentioned was Brian Brown. If you really want to torture yourself, get It's Pat the movie with Julie Sweeney. Yeah, that's a pretty bad film. Is here but guess what? It's $5.99, so you can add it on for very cheap. Jack the Giant Killer on Blu-ray here is here for $9.99. That's actually really really good. Ingrid Bergman's Joan of Arc is $9.99. Holy crap! Sorry, I'm actually kind of blown away. Toshiro Mifune, yeah. Junior Boner is here. Classic Stephen Queen film is $10.99. Killer Force with Telly Savalas is here for $10.99. Kind Hearts and Cornets. Wow, Alec Guinness. That's actually another good Alec Guinness film. That's a new one that came out. So it's $17.97. But still, it's cheaper than buying it for $30. Walter Matthau's Koch is here for $7.99. Definitely an underrated film. Krakatoa is here for $7.99. The Land Time for God is $13.49. This is a great sale. Mifune is like brilliant in anything that he does, in my opinion. I really, really like him. Let the Corpses Tan is here for $12.49. Doesn't that sound like it should be a Jessica Fletcher novel? Lifeboat, Hitchcock, we know, To the Bankhead. This is here for $9.99 on Blu-ray. The Lodger is $13.49. Losing It, classic comedy, their sex comedy, is here for like $10.99. I think that's the girl from Cheers. I'm pretty sure. Lost Highways here for $13.49. Lana Turner is in Madam X. Excellent. Yeah, because that's not what it is. Madam X is an excellent film. That's here for $11.99. You can get the Magritte films for $10.99, which are incredible prices for these. I think my better half paid like paid around $20 for one and like around 25 or 30 for the other when it originally came out, because she's a real big fan, like I was mentioned before. Malone is $8.99. There's a Mamie Van Doren film noir collection here for $20, which I would love to check out. I'm a huge Mamie Van Doren fan. Man Who Died Twice is here for like $6.99. Holy crap. Classic movies like Marty are $9.49. The Master is $19.99 to pick up here. Zero Mostly and Mastermind is like, well, it's $7.99. Kind of cheesy. Miracle Mile is only $8.99 here. Mississippi Burning is $12.49. Money for Nothing, John Cusack. Actually, I like that. Is is only $5.99. And Modern Girls is $12.99. That's actually a favorite of mine. Like, I'm just going down through, and it's going on and on, guys. I mean, like, I can't list everything here. My Bodyguard, which is a movie that I saw in theater, was a big movie for me, with Chris Makepeace. That's like, sorry, $12.99. I think Matt Dillon's the villain, is the bad guy, not right? He's the bully, I think. Naked Face with Roger Moore here is $5.99. I didn't. Another one that I need. But yeah, I could go on and on with these guys. Like all his profession is $10.99. 1,000,000 Years BC is here for $12.49. Original Gangsters, which I actually like. That's actually Larry Cohen actually wrote that one, I think. Is $8.99. I'm pretty sure it's Larry Cohen, Original Gangsters, because it's Fred Williamson. I think Larry Cohen might have directed it too. John Paul Belmondo and The Outsider is here for like $9.99. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of like Roger Moore. Not as big a fan as my better half is though. She's like a major Roger Moore fan. And he can do no wrong for her. He's her favorite Bond too. Panic in Year Zero, Ray Milland is here for $11.99. Parenting Case is another Hitchcock one for $12.99. The Pink Panther, wow. Okay, so the Pink Panther ones are here, $9.99 to $11.99, and they got all 5 volumes. So all 5 volumes are out now. You would get along with my better half, I think, actually, because you seem to have the same taste in in films. Yeah, you can get all the Pink Panther stuff for really cheap. There's a double feature, Michael Dudikoff double feature here. My favorite Roger Moore is A Spy Who Loved Me, and I think Live and Let Die is probably my second favorite, like out of his. Platoon Leader and Soldier Boys. Don't really remember those that well, but I know I've seen them. George Lazenby's completely underrated. George Lazenby did my favorite Bond movie of all time, on Her Majesty's Secret Service. He may have only done one, but he did the best storyline. I like Moonraker myself. I think Moonraker is one of the lesser ones. But then again, Sean Connery did a couple lesser ones as well. Moonraker's worth for Joss. Yeah. Billy Wilder's Private Life of Sherlock Holmes, which I mentioned here in the beginning of this video, is $12.99, and I do think that's a fantastic film. Really fun. They put out these sets, these RKO sets as well. So when I hear RKO Classic Adventures and RKO Classic Romances, the adventure set is like $15.99. That has like 3 films on it, and the romance one has like, I think 5 films on it, and it's $17.99. So that's actually pretty cool. Like the range of stuff that they got here, it's just insane. Like just such an eclectic range of Rolling Vengeance is 10.99 here. The Rosary Murders with Donald Sutherland, really good movie by the way, is 6.99. Wow, on Blu-ray. That's really good. That's really freaking good. Savage Weekend is 13.49. Actually, I don't find. I think everybody's got their own like opinion on what the worst Bond film is. If anybody's watched my channel for very long, they know what I think the worst Bond film ever made was, and that's Quantum of Solace. Because, and I think maybe somebody else would have done it, but the directing in Quantum of Solace is so bad that it hinders every other part of the film. And I don't think the script is that. I think the script's kind of weak, but the directing in Quantum of Solace is horrible. The guy cannot direct action. Oh man, see, I love License. See, that's where we disagree, man. Because I love License to Kill, because it takes Bond out of like out of all his comfort zones, and it's got the best actor for Bond, in my opinion, the best guy that ever played Bond, like to play like isn't Daniel Craig, in my opinion. That the best actor to ever do Bond was hands down Timothy Dalton. He's as close. It's the closest you get, like physically, to the book and the way that he acts. He's very, you picture him as a guy that's been through a lot, as a guy that's a killer, and because Bond is a killer, he is a literal. He's kind of a blunt instrument. That's what he does. He's not. He's not a super like fantastic spy. Because let's be honest, if James Bond was an amazing spy, he wouldn't get caught the way he does, and he wouldn't be out there driving like super flashy cars and doing all that type of stuff. It's actually John le Carre's, like George Smalley, so that's probably like a better actual spy. But James Bond is the extravagant, like kind of the fantasy of what you think a spy would be. He's a thug. Then that's not anything against him. That's what his character is. And Timothy Dalton does it, in my opinion, does it the best. I mean, like Sean Connery gets the brutish part of it right, but again, I think a lot of it, because he's the first. Roger Moore goes in a completely different way, but it works for him, and it works for the films that he does. Oh yeah, Richard, I love like John le Carre. I grew up like reading those books, like the James Bond books and the John le Carre books. Like, so I read all the Smiley's People and Spy Came In from the Cold. Like I saw the films like later on. I remember watching Smiley's People on CBC. It was like a miniseries. Well, you have to remember, Wolf, that at the time that Dalton was doing the films, there was like, there was starting to become a bit of a backlash to the way the Bond films were being done. So this was the era of like, this was the AIDS era. There was like, this was when we're promoting safe sex because people were dying, kids were dying, and so that became part of Bond. That's why I like Living Daylights so much. Is that not Living Daylights? I like License to Kill so much. Is that when you get into License to Kill, it kind of strips everything away. Bond is doing it for not for Queen and Country. Actually, I'll mention that in a second. Why Lasme only did one film, but Bond is doing it because his friend has been attacked. His friend has just had his wedding, and it's even more like, I guess it hits me more now because I'm a huge David Hedison fan. David Hedison just passed away, actually, and he's the guy that played. He's the only guy to play Felix Leiter really twice in the original, like what I consider the original Bond series, before the before Daniel Craig ones. And he comes back in License to Kill to play Felix Leiter again. And James Bond is going to Felix Leiter's wedding. He's marrying Priscilla Barnes, and Robert Davey and Benicio del Toro come in, and great bad guy actors, and they totally like what they do to Felix Leiter. Like they put him in the Shark Tank, and they do to his wife. It's insanely great. By the way, Sicilian Clan, $9.99, good price for that one. 2-disc set, international and theatrical cut, with a great documentary. The movie that I want the most here is The Silent Partner. It's one I grew up watching when I was a kid. I've always wanted it. It's one of my favorite films of all time. It's got Elliot Gould in it, Suzanne York, Christopher Plummer. Christopher Plummer is incredible as a bad guy. When I was growing up and I was doing theater, Christopher Plummer was one of the guys that I used to study his the way that he acted and his style, because he was a great like theatrical like theater actor, and I would study his movies and I'd watch over and over again, like just to see the way that he'd do things and the different like subtle nuances that he would do within his acting. I'm a bit of a theater geek that way, guys. That was kind of my thing. The Skull is here for $11.99. Kinwall's Soldier, which actually is pretty cool, cheesy stuff. I did a lot of Shakespeare. Is here for $8.99. I mean, like, I would love to see Sean Connery cameo. I doubt it, but I would love to see it, because he retired, as far as I know. I think he's retired from acting right now. But it would be awesome to see. There'd be a huge pop in the theater for that. I did. Let's see. I did Caesar. I did Romeo and Juliet, which is my least favorite to do. I did Hamlet. I did the Scottish play. I did. Oh God. Caesar's my favorite. Julius Caesar's my favorite. Much Ado But Nothing. The Tempest. You kind of, and various roles, and I did most of them various times where I did different roles in different plays. Some were like tiny roles and some are bigger. But yeah, I love Shakespeare. I got to play Mark Antony, and that was like one of those checklists when I was doing theater, that I had to do. Yeah, it's that if you do theater, it's one of the roles that you want to do, because you want to get to that Brutus is an honorable man speech. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. You want to do that on stage sometime. It's just one of those. It sticks with you. Sorry, guys. I'm super geeky when it comes to that type of stuff. The Stud is here for $9.99. Summer Lovers, actually Twilight Time put that out too, but I guess this is a newer one. The Scottish one, Midsummer Night's Dream, is actually a favorite of mine. But Julius Caesar, I was really into politics growing up. I went into journalism. That part of that was for politics. Kathy, have a great evening. Let me know what you get, by the way. Like, text me tomorrow or something. Message me. Let me know what you end up picking up. But yeah, Julius Caesar really stood out for me. What was it? Taming of the Shrew. I love Taming of the Shrew. It's a fun one to do, and the language in it is good. I had some friends that really hated Shakespeare because they found it hard to get Shakespeare adaptation. I don't know if I got my favorite adaptation. I'd have to look into that. I like, actually, although it's not my favorite Shakespearean one, I love Olivia Hussey in Romeo and Juliet, Twelfth Night. There's so much good stuff to get. In a very non-Shakespearean way, they're playing with fire with Sybil Danning is here for $13.49 Blu-ray and $8.99 for the DVD. Anybody like Sybil Danning? Oh, this is the one to get. If you're a fan of Sybil Danning and you want to see Sybil Danning in the way that most people that are fans of Sybil Danning want to see Sybil Danning, yeah, get there playing with fire. It is a movie that starts out like a seduction, high school, erotic type of film. Then it turns into a thriller and a bit of a slasher. It's all over the place there, but it's really fun. And it's definitely Sybil Danning looking her very, very best. But I mean, all the cartoon ones are here on sale from anything anywhere from $14.99 to $7.99. Tijuana Toads is here for $7.99. Trilogy of Terror Gods is $13.49. That's a really good price for that one. Uh, Tough Turf is there for $13.49. That's a newer one that came out recently. Uh, that it is like that. That is my favorite version of Romeo and Juliet. I think. Wolf is this the Frolic version? That definitely is probably hands down my favorite when it comes to for that one. And that's not one of my favorite plays either. Um, it's good, and I mean like Romeo and Juliet is one that can get a that when people's like read it now or they perform it now, it can seem a bit tiring. Even when I was a kid, it did because those tropes have been used so much in so many films, right? And like the Romeo and Juliet, one of the most used storylines in film and in TV. So that like by the time, even when you're a kid and you get to it, you've seen it so many times and so many different versions of it that that the original can kind of lose a bit of its luster. And like that's what happened to me. Like I'd seen it so many times, and like people ripping it off really or homaging it. But yeah, it did. Oh, really? That's kind of cool. That is kind of cool. Uh, I guess what else here? Up the Creek, which is I think it's Tim Matheson, right? It's Tim Matheson because that's the one with Jennifer Onion in it. So you're Julius Caesar kind of like me. Then. Uh, Julius Caesar's good. I still Taming It's True, like really good. Ken did a great. See, Scissors Man is there for like $6.99. That's a really good price for that one. Like insanely good price for that one. And I'm just going through here, guys, right now, and I mean, uh, getting stuff like The Wicked Lady, like 13.49, or like White Lightning, which is the one. If you're gonna get any like Burt Reynolds film, White Lightning, grab that one first. Is $8.99. Wolf Lake is $8.49. Man, X the Man with the Extra Eyes, $13.49. Young Doctors in Love. Actually, got a kick of that one. I got that one on VHS actually. Do you know? I don't know if I've seen Zeffirelli's Taming of the Shrew. If I did, I like Scissors. Actually, I really did like it. If I did, I honestly don't remember it. To be completely honest with you, so that's one that I definitely have to look for because I've seen his Romeo and Juliet and I've seen it many times, but I don't know if I've seen his Taming of the Shrew. I feel like I have, but to be honest with you, I don't know. So that's something I got to check into. When I was growing up, well, when my kids were growing up, yeah, I own it then. The Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton one. Yeah, I do have that. I haven't seen it in years, but I do. Actually, when Blockbuster was selling out, I we picked it up because that's my better half's favorite version of Taming of the Shrew, actually. Uh, so definitely one that I need to rewatch. I didn't put it together at all. I can see John Cleese's doing a good job. Got all like, oh yeah, I saw I Claudius, and I gotta remember that too. That had a great cast back in the day. We had to watch a lot of that because I didn't just do drama in school, right? I did like the outside, like kind of the off Broadway stuff, and That's where I got to pay like a lot of smaller roles and stuff, which was really fun. Because then I got to watch other people that were like sometimes you get like people come in from certain areas, and sometimes like a lot of soap actors and stuff like that too. That will be off like on kind of vacation, and that's what they would do, is they'd come in and they do like they'd highlight they'd headline a play, and you get to like see what some of the stuff that they would do. Sandu the Magician is really fun. Is that the movie or the serial? Because there's a serial, right? Uh, I have not heard the audio version, so that I haven't. I think I've seen both versions of iCloud, if I'm correct, but I have not heard the audio version of it. The last audios that I heard were Big Finish Doctor Who's. That's the last audios that I heard. That's to be completely honest with you. And I did listen to the audiobook for Stephen King's Danse Macabre, which is actually really good. It's an insanely great sale, guys. I mean, there is so much goodness in the sale here. The War Between Men and Women is here, and that is $5.99, and that is Jack Lemmon. So I recommend almost anything Jack Lemmon on writing. I've read on writing. I don't have the audio for that one, I don't think, but I have read it. And as a writer myself, I really like it. I would love to see Joe Hill do a book down the road, like on writing as well, because I think he's amazing with his writing. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll do a list of them sometime. There are a lot of great Big Finish audios, and some of them, like you want to like. It can be like you want to listen to this one, to listen to this one, listen to this one type of thing. But there's ones they just do stuff and they stand on their own. And some stuff. Oh, let's see that. Now I do want to listen to it. But if you've like for instance, if you've ever only heard, or if you've ever only seen Colin Baker on Doctor Who on TV, right? Like in the two series that he did, and you're like, he's okay, but I'm not quite sure. Colin Baker, and Sylvester McCoy specifically, those two doctors specifically, they shine in audio. Colin Baker is meant, his doctor is meant for audio stories, and he just, because he is so theatrical, and he has the voice for it, and Sylvester McCoy has the voice for it, and that's important. Actually, I gotta go too, because I did it again, guys. I started out to make like a short video because my voice was going, because it wasn't gonna, because this was gonna be a quicker night. Dude, the closest thing you're gonna get to that right now, unfortunately, in a way, is listen to the Paul McGann Big Finish audio. It's really, really good. He did some really great stuff. I am Aaron. You guys rock. I'm going to be on a boat this time tomorrow. So going off to see my dad, because I got to go on a boat, and then I got to go on a long bus ride. Fun stuff. I am Aaron. Get some cute stuff from the Kino sale. Buy me some stuff, guys. Anyway, seriously though, you guys rock. You guys are awesome. This has been a great night. I've had a fantastic time talking to you guys here tonight. And let me know, guys. We'll talk about it later on. Maybe a few days before I get to do another one. But thank you all so much. You'll hopefully see. I'm going to bring this with me. You're hopefully going to do a video with my dad, so you guys hopefully be able to talk to him yourself. Because I'm going to try doing a live one. Because they got pretty good internet there as well. And we'll see some of my dad's stuff. I'll see you later. You guys rock. And get some Kino stuff. And who knows, one of these days, one of these companies will actually hear about all the sales that I get them, and maybe they'll send me a movie or a T-shirt or something. Would be nice. Well, Dad's gonna really appreciate that. Thanks, Wolf, and have a great evening there, guys. And I will see you guys soon. It really is time for tea. My voice is gone.